All right. Hold on. Let's get the chat popping. Select live sources. Yes, I'm live right now. All right. This is fun. Hey everybody. How we doing? How are we on this Tuesday? It's funny. It does not feel like a Tuesday to me because I put up a video like 30 minutes ago or however many minutes ago. And so it feels like a Monday. But now I'm live and so I have to wait for it to feel like Tuesday again. Somebody said best part of unemployment is being able to watch your lives whenever you go live. Yeah, let's go. But if you are looking for a job, I hope you find one as well. All right. So born to watch D'Angelo Wallace forced to work. That's how I feel as well, even though this is me working, or at least trying to. We have a good topic today, by the way. Well, I like all my topics, which is why I do them. I'm actually pretty picky about them. But today specifically, I just know there's going to be a lot to talk about. Someone said the haircut is amazing, baby. Thank you. Y'all know I just had to shave again. I did it for y'all. I feel like I look so shiny today. Shaving your head is just so fun to do. Like it's a fun activity that I wish people would talk about more. I like it. I like it. All right, let's go. Someone said 3 ads, the downfall of YouTube. Okay, but hold on though. Well, you might not hear me if you're getting an ad right now, but hold on though. I will say, at least I don't run ads during my stream. I can. Actually, I have the ability to do so. It wouldn't work on all of you. I know some of you do have ad blockers and the like. But yeah, I say, you know what? It's fair. It's fair that you get an ad when you come into the stream and then that's it. You can watch up to 4 hours of content with no ads at all. Someone said, am I crazy or does the audio sound a little different? Not in a bad way. It might be because my mic was pointed the wrong way, but I just tried to fix it. Hopefully, yeah, I haven't changed any settings since the last time I went live. So, someone said, did you worry about your head shape before shaving all your hair off? No, I'm an OG. I've been bald since I was a kid. That's just like it's like a black boy canon event. I promise you. At some point, probably your mom or your dad will just shave off all your hair when you're a kid and you won't mind. You're a kid and you're like, yeah, I'm bald. So I've always known what shape we had going on under here, as long as it didn't change significantly since I was 4. Maybe that's what I was worried about more than anything. Someone said love the hoops. Thank you. I like these little like hexagonal, I don't know how to say that word, like huggy earrings. They're really fun. Actually, I've been really into hexagons in general. I'm thinking at some point of potentially replacing my septum ring with like kind of like a hexagon shape, because I think that would look really, really cool. I have to find one though. I've been looking around, like where can I find a good hexagon shaped septum ring that fits my sort of vibe and stuff. But yeah, I think there's a lot of power there for sure. Someone said, D'Angelo, I joined late today. The ops got me. I'm so sorry. But you're here now. Someone said, can we get a fit check? No, because my pants don't match. My pants do not match my hoodie whatsoever. If I was wearing all black, yes, I would happily do a fit check. But it's like dark vibes up here and then like fall because I'm cold. You hear me? Someone said, oh, I see 2 back to back. One person said, would you ever stretch the septum? Another said, did you ever consider stretching the earlobes? I'll answer both of those questions in a second. Someone said, I love your jewelry and gender expression. Thank you. I'll talk about that too. So if you're new and you're wondering why are we talking about like gender and jewelry and weird stuff like that, this is how it goes. The first 30 minutes of my stream are literally just what you're getting right now, a yap session, because I like talking and reading all of your messages. And then around the 30-minute mark or so, that's when we'll get into today's topic. Today specifically, we'll be just doing some light work, honestly talking about celebrities using pets or animals as props everywhere from like the red carpet to their Instagram pages. It's like not a deep dive. I would just like to talk about it. Okay. Stretched septum, stretched earlobes, jewelry and gender expression. So the first one, no. Personally, I don't want to stretch my septum, mostly just because like I actually already sometimes become too hyper aware of the ring being in my nose. And the thought of there being anything like bigger, I don't think I would actually be able to deal with it. So probably not, even though I really do like the look. As far as stretched ears, maybe, but small. You know what I mean? Small. I would, I think. Then again, like, I feel like everyone would say that and then they just get bigger. But I would try to keep it really small if I did it. But actually, I really do like them the way they are. And then, yeah, as far as gender and jewelry and expression, all that stuff, that's something that I think is really fun too. Because for me, the challenge is very much like, how do you still give gender without society's binary gender markers? And I think I'm doing a pretty good job of that. Like, yes, I'm a man and read as such, but I am also non-binary and I believe that I read as such as well. And it's not easy to do. You just have to have a certain energy to you. So yeah, everything I do, I'm trying to give off vibes, honestly. So thank you for noticing. So I said, when did you find your personal style? Oh, I switched it on a whim. So this is what I like doing right now, but I might at some point decide that actually I don't like anything and I might switch it. Ah. Anyways, somebody say you're so gender. Thank you. I try. I'm trying to attain a level of gender that has never previously before been gendered. Like, I'm on my way. I'm 27, so I figure I'm 27% of the way there. When I'm 100, I will finally be 100% gender, and then I can die. Then I can die. So your look gives queer/fluid. Thank you. We try over here. We try. MB vibes. Yes. Anyways, what else we got? Someone said try being an influencer non-binary man for a day. No, for real. Try being an MB for a day. Try it. Just kidding. Even though, you know what's really funny? You can try that for a day if you want to. It's not like I'm being so for real right now. You have my permission as a non-binary person. If one day you're just like, what if this is a vibe? And then you just try it. And at the end of the day, you're like, no, that didn't feel right. You can let go. But then maybe at the end of the day, you'll be like, oh, why did that kind of hit? Try being non-binary for a day. Someone said celebrities are becoming more and more close to the Hunger Games capital citizens. Yeah. I mean, dude, I try not to think about it for real. Someone said, can you tell us how you felt when you got each of your piercings and you felt your image change? I realized, well, sure, when I first pierced my ears, that was easy. So many people have those, so I didn't really feel much of anything. But at the point where I did start shoving like hot metal in my ears and shaving off all of my hair and stuff like that, I realized that I was no longer going to be attractive to everybody. Not to say that I was attractive to everybody beforehand, but I do realize I'm now making choices that actually do put some people off. Some people really don't like bald guys. Some people are not into like piercings and tattoos and stuff like that. And so that, I think, was my first time like, wow, some people are actually going to look at me now and think that they don't like the choices that I've made with my body. Good thing I don't care at all. So I had to become okay with that. Someone said, I want to shave my head, but I just know my head shape is weird at the back. It could be, but low key, anybody staring at the back of your head is obsessed and like needs to actually get a hobby. I would say needs to get a job. That's not the easiest thing to do, but at the very least, you can get a hobby. So weird, you know, I feel like you should just shave that anyway. And if you wind up not rocking with it, your hair will grow back. You'll be all right. Someone said, what other piercings do you want, if any? An industrial piercing. I'm pointing to the wrong ear. An industrial piercing is the last one that I want, probably, which is just like a bar that can go through the ear. If you guys have ever seen that one, I love me an industrial piercing, man. Someone said, you look so academic, though. I don't know why. The nerd, you can't kill the nerd in me. I do try, you know. Look, we got like literary things going on. This is a literary tattoo. We contribute to the academic vibe a little bit. I try, you know, because the nerd vibes are just crazy, man. Someone said, can I be vibe gender? It's like vibe coding, but cooler. Yes, you can do that. You can absolutely just go off of vibes. I support you. I really, truly do. Someone said the industrial was so popular when I was in high school. Yes. I'm like, bro, bring that back immediately. Even though I've heard that it's not the easiest piercing to heal, which I worry about because all of mine have healed like crazy easy. I feel like a lot of people don't realize because I wear glasses, but I have like the stud right there. It's really, really small. But that one healed really easy. I've never gotten an irritation bump. I've never had anything hurt for more than But really not at all, actually, after past the first day. Oh, I did totally mess up my ear. I messed up my ear piercing when I was like 20. I don't remember when I got this pierced, but like I wanted a dangly earring so bad. They put in just like the flat backs. I had like studs, and they were like, okay, like don't change this for a few months. And I was like, I won't. But halfway through my healing process, I was like, I just want the dangly earring. And I pulled out my earring out of an unhealed lobe, and then I stuck a heavy piece of jewelry in there, and I went a whole day with just that stress on there, and it was literally the dumbest thing that I've ever done. So actually, I realized I just lied. I have absolutely had a massive issue with one of my piercings, but I did it to myself. And for months, my ear was so it hurt so bad, but I also didn't want it to like close. So I pulled that one back out. So painful. I stuck the stud back in, and then I just tried not to sleep on that side. So bad. Someone said same. Yeah, no, it's so bad. Someone said no pronouns could ever encapsulate me. You get it. My pronouns are he, him, but the real ones know my true pronouns are no/none. That's the secret for me personally. It's not any, even though I think any is insanely valid as a pronoun stack. If you're running any, I rock with you heavy. But personally, my pronouns are actually no/none. Don't perceive me. Don't think about me. Don't think that you're seeing the real me. It's not happening right now. This is an apparition. But I just go with he, him because it's easier for all other humans to wrap their brain around. Someone said, I got an industrial piercing a year ago, and surprisingly, the healing was easier than I expected. I just need to be careful when I slept, and that's it. And it was so worth it. It recently healed. Nice. Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to try to be careful with that one. Someone said, no pronouns for me, but I respect them. Very, very real. Very real. Someone said, same. Holy crap, I do not want to be perceived ever. It's a whole vibe, honestly. If you take the... I think it's a common thing to just not want to be perceived. But if you do like a Venn diagram of non-binary people and people who very strongly wish not to be perceived or thought of in any way, it's almost a circle. You could be NB a whole bunch of different kinds of ways, so I won't say it's anybody, but it's almost a circle. Someone said, are you a PDA person? Well, I'm kind of like catastrophically ace, so no, I'm not a PDA. Public displays of affection, actually, I think I would be very uncomfortable. It's a no for me, dog. Please, no. Don't like kiss me in public, or no. I mean, like, then again, if it's not romantic, I don't really care. But I also think I just don't like being touched ever. By anyone, unless they ask first. Like if you're like, oh, can I give you a hug or whatever, then I'll give you a hug and I'll try to give you a good one. But like, no. No for me, dog. Some side mostly use he, they, but I'm okay with any. That's a good stack too. I support that and I respect it. Someone said real, but I love platonic PDA with my besties. No, see, that's, you gotta essentially be on the same understanding with whoever you're with, and as long as y'all are there, I'm fine with it. Like, I also don't really get bothered by other people doing PDA. Maybe I feel like some people really do, and I'm just like, I don't know, they're not like kissing me. It's not my problem. Someone said catastrophically ace is such a relatable term. Yeah, I experience total system failure sometimes due to that. Reading. Somebody said, my perception of femininity is tied to my body weight because of how I was bullied and harassed growing up because of my weight, that I never truly felt like a girl. When I was thin, it wasn't good enough. I am completely unequipped to answer that. But at the same time, speaking to my own experience, I felt something very similar in the opposite direction, where my perception of my body weight has also been really tied to masculinity. And I was always a skinny kid, and I felt very like bad. And I was made to feel bad, and then I put on weight and everyone congratulated me, even though it wasn't like good for me because I wasn't comfortable. And I really had to let go of I would just have to be like, I look the way that I look. And anybody's opinion on the way that I look or trying to tie it to ridiculous concepts like gender, I've been trying to let go of that for sure. It's a struggle, but I ain't a woman though, so I'm sure it's its own version of complex. Reading. So it says she ain't finna look nothing over here, honey. Is basically my feelings on others' PDA. Yeah, exactly. Y'all do you over there. That's how I feel. It's a yes for me. Oh, can I tell y'all what I'm not going to talk about today? I am not going to talk about Shia LaBeouf. Have you seen what he's gotten up to lately, or what he's continuing to get up to? Is starting to give Kanye West, if I'm being honest, even including the random bigotry and just the constant like insistence upon being in headlines and interviews 24/7 and broadcasting every single thought in his head. Seriously, the dude is going really downhill. And at first I was thinking like, yeah, I can make a video about this. Shia LaBeouf, we've talked about him before, but I really started watching some of this footage and I was like, he's not well. And I like, there's also a bunch of things that he should be criticized over, like his history of abuse, honestly being abusive towards his partners, admitting such, being caught being emotionally abusive on camera, etc. And that's all true, and I criticize that, but I was really just looking at the stuff that was happening the past couple weeks, and I'm just like, this isn't, nobody wins here, really. It's bad. Someone said free Mia Goth, but she also has issues. Oh, they apparently like split a year ago and nobody knew. Apparently that happened. Somebody said people not knowing Shia LaBeouf, I'm old. Yeah, that makes me feel a little bit old too. Shia LaBeouf was definitely so known, especially when I was a kid, but child actor to troubled person timeline or pipeline, unfortunately happens quite often. And then also somebody who like harmful things are done, but then has also done a lot of harm that can't really be excused. Unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Someone said, are we talking about Rumpelstiltskin? No, I was talking about Shia LaBeouf. Someone said he was a meme. Yeah, don't let your dreams be dreams. It was a good meme, actually. Someone said, wait, is Shia LaBeouf old? No. He's like in his, 30s? I don't know. Use recommended browser settings. I wouldn't. No, I don't want to do that. Okay, so Shia LaBeouf age. I might not have spelled that correctly, but that's okay. He's 39. Yeah, no, he's not old. He's 40. That is a nice, decent age. Not old, not young. Some of the Holes was fire. That is such a good movie. Have y'all ever seen that movie, dude? I swear to God. Hold on, let me find it. What year did that movie come out? 2003. Okay. Holes 2003 is this old like kids family movie. Disney. I'm telling you, Disney really used to have that secret sauce, man. They absolutely used to have a little something back then, but they lost it. They absolutely lost it. Someone said it's weird learning celebrities' ages you grew up with. I know. It is weird. Yeah, I feel the same way. Someone said Peak, good book too. Yes, for sure. I really like that author in general. Someone said he was in Peak Cinema. Yeah, and then that's part of the reason why what's going on now is sad, but then also like you have a responsibility for your own actions. So there's truly only so much sad I can feel. But yeah, I was like, dude, this is just depressing, and I don't have anything to add, unfortunately. Some of the Holes is so good, I forgot it was a Disney movie. For real though, for real. Disney writers in the 2000s were cooking. We lost a great time. They actually were though. Like, what were they on? Can we get some of that back? Don't mind me. I'm just pulling up my second monitor. That way we can go live soon. All right. Yes. Let's connect. I'm excited. Anyway, someone said, I'll watch almost anything with Eartha Kitt. She was very cool for sure. Someone said, can you talk about how a bunch of apps ask you to waive your arbitration rights to use them? It's so deeply concerning. I don't know what arbitration rights are. So I can't talk about that, but I will say, like, one thing that does bother me is that terms of service are written in a way that is so purposely obfuscating and impossible to decipher, like genuinely impenetrable for a layman, and people never understand what they're actually agreeing to. And I find that to be really sad. I wish that there were more regulations in place for people actually understanding what companies are doing with their data when they agree to them. But instead, you would have to scroll like 15 pages into a legalese document in order to find this out, and it's sad. It's sad. Someone said, am I imagining things, or are we streaming 2 days in a row? We are. You got a whole extra stream on Monday because reasons. Because reasons, and now you're getting a stream again. So it was the first time catching the stream. Oh, well, hi. Thank you for joining. I hope you enjoyed this one. We have a pretty good topic today, honestly. Someone said, do you like the Resident Evil franchise? The last game is pretty solid. I like the aesthetics of it for sure. I've never actually played Resident Evil, strangely enough. I think I tend not to gravitate towards like horror games. Not because I get scared. I actually don't know why. But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. Someone said, I'm getting a degree in Canada, and I was taught that public announcements must be grade 3 reading level. I honestly think that that's just a good way of doing things in general. It's not like dumbing things down, it's making things accessible. And I feel like the more accessible things are, the better, honestly. Maybe not grade 3 reading level specifically, but for my videos, I'm always trying to make them like, I imagine someone who has never heard of me and never heard of anything that I'm talking about. And I've always done that just kind of naturally, but I feel like now more than ever, it's such an important thing because so much of what happens on the internet, it's really hard to like parse, because sometimes it will just feel like you've missed like the first 9 episodes of a 10-part series, and it's like curtains for Zusha and you have no idea what anybody's saying about anything. So I was taught grade 5, but that's the US. Yeah. What's your opinion on 2016? What's my opinion on 2016? I was a lot less conscious before 2016, and occasionally I miss it. Also, I'm not thoroughly convinced that the world didn't just end in 2016. Not just because of one thing or another. Just I think about every single year after that, and I'm like, have any of these years actually been good? But maybe it's no coincidence that 2016 also coincides with me officially entering legal adulthood. That was when I turned 18. So who really knows? Who actually knows? Someone said it's on the shoulders of the communicator to make themselves understood. Literally the first thing that I learned in school, going to school for mass communication. Actually, I was taught that as a child, even before going to school, because people in my family were also in communication. Nepo baby alert. Just kidding. No one in my family is on YouTube, or is popular on YouTube or whatever. But like, I just realized we're going to have YouTube Nepo babies, and I'm sad now. I don't want that for us. As I was speaking, I literally just realized, like, oh man, Mr. Beast, he's gonna have a child, and that child is going to want to be Super Beast, and everyone's just going to feel like they have to watch this channel because this is Mr. Beast's kid on YouTube, and I don't want it. I don't want it. Please, no. Reading chat. Someone said in 2016 I started high school. Nice. I was a sophomore in college. Mr. Beast Jr., bruh. Yeah, it's a no for me, dog. Please no. Someone said it must have happened already. Well, probably because YouTube is like 20 years old at this point. So if somebody started a really long time ago and also had a kid already, then there probably could be a YouTube Nepo baby. But I think we haven't seen them yet, you know? Someone said don't speak that into existence. I'm sorry. Someone said I never even had a thought like that. Horrifying. I apologize. Listen, when it happens, inevitably, don't blame me, okay? Do not. Someone said the Baby Beast channel is going to be started before the kid's even out of the womb. That is so depressing to think about. But, like, I wouldn't be surprised. Honestly, when influencer people monetize the hell out of their children, I get sad. Because I'm like, oh wow, childhood, you can't get that back. So if you were having to work throughout it, that's just it. The end. Buddy, no. Someone said, would Ryan's toy reviews parents be Nepo adults? Ryan's toy review parents are going to hell. I need you all to know this. I don't believe in, the things I used to believe. So I guess that would include heaven, hell, ideas of the afterlife. But I do know for sure that this child's parents are actually, it's eternal damnation. There's no way that you turned your child's entire life into a brand. You made me re-believe in Christianity just so I could specifically condemn this, because I literally hate that he's still going. Like, who knows what this kid even actually wants to do or would want to do had he not been made to work this entire time. I do not care how his parents justify it or what they say. No child should have had a job for 11 years. Ryan's World has been grinding YouTube for longer than I have been grinding YouTube. And I am an adult who often cries because of my job. Like anybody with a job, I'm not special. But like, dude, I literally can't believe this. It pisses me off so much. Yeah, at one point he was like one of the highest paid YouTubers, or was the highest paid YouTuber at one point because of his products. He's had a movie, Ryan's World, the movie Titan Universe Adventure. Like, the kid is older now and they're still using his brand for everything. I'm like, buddy, this is awful. Someone said, but he loves it. We asked if he wanted to do it and he said yes. Yeah, no, miss me with all that. Please, 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 please miss me with all of that. So I feel bad for the kid for sure, though. Somehow, how is it even legal? Listen, the law is so behind with child labor. It's like on the internet. It's really, really wild. You cannot like compel a child to work anywhere else other than YouTube. Essentially. Now, granted, like child labor still happens, and I'm not trying to sound naive, but what I mean is like, you literally can just be like, okay, Ryan, time for a new brand deal. Let's go. And Ryan, I'm talking about him so much, but let's just say any influencer child cannot sign a contract. You can't sign a contract that is legally binding when you're a minor. These contracts are signed by the parents. I'm telling you right now, being a parent and signing a contract that your child has to work and is now contractually obligated to do anything is messed up. It's really, really, really messed up. You should be working. You should be signing contracts and obligating yourself to work and promote things. But yeah, no, just because I guess, like, you should not be promoting this regardless, but just because I do these things and I sign these deals and I think about what it actually means to do any sort of branded content. It's a job. It's not actually just photographing your kids and putting the videos up online for any weirdo to see. It's literally consistent contractual obligation of Ryan must do this. Ryan must appear. Ryan must play with this toy. Ryan must license his image to us. And it's awful. It's awful. It is not good, man. It's not good. Someone said I didn't realize Ryan was on YouTube for so long. It's wild. Anyways, I've said the word Ryan so many times at this point that it doesn't sound like a real word. So let me stop. Wait, someone said child labor laws will only get worse. We have politicians saying children should be made to work to afford their school lunches. On that note, because save me, let's go ahead and start getting into the topic before we actually get mad. Because what do you actually mean? I believe you. And this is just bad. No, ain't nobody looking out for these kids. Please. All right. Someone said this is a perfect segue. Yeah, on it. Wait, you're so onto something. Sorry, I'm being really loud. This is the perfect segue because we are talking about essentially being contractually obligated to work or making any sort of like online brand appearance while not strictly being able to consent to it. And I think that is probably the best segue into today's topic about celebrities using pets as accessories, which is depressing. All right, everyone say hi to YouTube. I'm going to start recording. All right, we're recording. Say hi in chat. Let me drink some water. Someone said the fact that we just started and I'm already mad. Well, I don't think it's going to get much better from here, but then we'll turn it around after with some more uplifting stuff, I promise. Anyways. Oh, I didn't even pull up my outline. Yes, say hi, sorry. Where? Okay, here we go. There's a siren in the background, and I don't want it to pop up in the intro, so I'm stalling until the siren passes. Keep saying hi. Oh man, of all times for this to be happening. Oh, it's actually getting louder. I feel like y'all could literally hear it at this point. Okay. I hope everybody is well, or as well as they can be. Celebrities literally think that pets are accessories. I don't think that's even a hot take at this point. The history of this is too long for me to document, so I figured I'd actually pull some recent examples so we can talk about this. We've got everything from live birds on stage at the Grammys to showing up at red carpet events, pets being dragged from the runway to Instagram pages, and I feel as though there's a lot to say about it, not just for the pet's sake, but in general what this says about celebrities and how they monetize literally everything. That was a good intro. I liked that one a lot. Okay, y'all can stop saying hi to YouTube. Let's really get into it. Let's get into it, man. So I have these things in my outline, and I'm trying to decide what example, or not what example, I'm trying to decide what order I want to go in with this, because there's literally, this is more of a talky video. There's so many different ways we could approach this. Should we start maybe with Justin Bieber? Wait, somebody right there said, can we get into Justin Bieber's pet monkey? Okay, I actually wasn't even going to mention the pet monkey, but that's a good point too. I'm going to use Justin Bieber as a sort of entry point for this conversation because he represents this celebrity attitude towards animals. They are weird about them in ways that your average person absolutely could not afford to be or could never get away with. So, like, Justin Bieber, what did he say about the monkey? Pet monkey, if you could. I swear he had a quote about this that was so annoying. Oh yeah, he says it right here. Thank you, Google, even though I don't like AI. So after Justin Bieber's pet monkey got stopped at an airport because Justin did not have the proper authority to be transporting him or whatever, he was missing. What was he missing exactly? I can't believe I know this. Oh, he was placed under quarantine, which is obviously a horrible thing to happen because Justin didn't make sure that he was A-OK to do this. And he said, I'm not going to bring him to Germany or travel with it anymore, he told GQ. People are always like, why did you get a monkey? If you could get a monkey, well, you would get an effing monkey too. Monkeys are awesome. This is the exact sort of attitude that I would like to get into today. I'm doing these things because I can, not because I actually have any sort of inclination towards the well-being of my pet or whatever. It's actually genuinely just a status thing. Though I will say, I do have a couple people on this list who really do seem to love their pets. And I'm not accusing everyone of being a bad pet parent, but I still think there's a lot to be said here. So what I actually wanted to talk about Justin was that one time he gave away his dog to one of his backup dancers and didn't tell the backup dancer that the dog actually had a medical condition. And then the backup dancer wound up having to pay for this, but couldn't. And there was a GoFundMe that Justin didn't contribute to. I'm being so serious, by the way. This was a while ago. Justin Bieber gives his dog Todd to dancer without telling of debilitating illness. So there was a chow puppy named Todd given to backup dancer CJ. And it says right here, It says the puppy was born with severe hip dysplasia, a condition that could lose Todd the ability to walk within a few months' time. The vets estimate that the dog will be disabled by the time of his first birthday, etc. Salvador wasn't ready to face a medical bill of that magnitude, but he loved his new canine so much he went on a fundraising campaign so he could finance Todd's procedure, and it worked. He raised the necessary $8,000 with the help of 90 individual donations, including one from Jaden Smith. Not on the donor list, Big Bank Bieber. Unless Justin somehow donated anonymously, which I'm sorry, I do tend to doubt. This is a wildly irresponsible and careless way of interacting with animals, which I would really like to stress throughout this video, do have feelings, are actual beings. They are conscious and sentient, and I think being treated this way is appalling, honestly. Someone said JB's a millionaire. He could have paid for it. Yeah, there literally didn't need to be a GoFundMe at all. I am not blaming the backup dancer. You got to do what you got to do for your pets. I'm saying this is wild. This is wild, man. Someone said this is actually disgusting. In general, though, this kind of goes way, way, way back with Justin and the weird pet stuff. This is such old news. He was actually like 19 here, but Bieber's hamster giveaway causes furry furor. Shout out ABC News for that bit of alliteration. But Justin apparently had a pet hamster named Pac and just straight up gave it away. Just randomly. I'm being so serious right now. According to TMZ, Justin Bieber gave an unsuspecting fan an early Christmas present by unloading his pet hamster on her during a recent concert. Now, usually, I'd be like, according to CMZ, that's not good. That's some said the backup dancer did the GoFundMe. Yeah, it was the backup dancer CJ Salvador started the GoFundMe, not Justin. Usually I'd be like, TMZ, that's not a good source, but no. It's on video, man. It actually objectively happened. I mean, this video is really, 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 really grainy, but there's definitely a kind of like out of touch, richer than God person who genuinely just thinks that animals are props to be moved, disposed of, kept for as short term as possible. And I find it to be sad, honestly. Someone said unloading. I know that's such a depressing word to use to describe a living being. Unfortunately, in my own outline, I described it as offloading because it's like, that's literally what he did. Anyways. Someone said he brought the hamster to a concert. Yeah, why did he bring the hamster to a concert in general? We're going to talk about animals at concerts a little bit later because there's a bit more discourse there, but we're off to a horrible start. Horrible start. I guess since we're here and talking about the worst of the worst, maybe I'll go ahead and bring up the Kardashians. All right. I'm telling y'all right now that this is messed up, just so you know. Okay. Someone said they think the same of people. Oh, I agree. I agree. So this is not my original research. This is somebody on Reddit compiling a list that I haven't seen debunked of the Kardashians and Jenners posting their pets on their Instagram pages. And the fact that these pets have a tendency to literally just disappear, right? Now, obviously, unfortunately, pets don't live forever. So I'm not expecting any pet to be on their Instagram till the end of time. However, is it not strange? Someone said Justin Bieber's older than me. I can hate him as much as I want. Yeah, no, Justin Bieber's an adult, man. Is it not kind of strange that you have one dog kind of disappearing from the feed in 2012? Okay. You have one dog which passed away. That's fine. But then things like two dogs, Louis and Vuitton, being Christmas gifts to Kendall and Kylie 1 year, and then only being seen for approximately 6 months before never appearing on just anywhere again. Things like that are... Dude, where are the dogs, honestly? If we're being honest, someone said it's a disappearing part for me. Yeah, no, like pets passing, I'm obviously not here to criticize that, but ooh, this isn't a good thing. And you realize this literally just keeps going on and on. Jackson Odom Jr., rescue dog, first seen in August, last seen in October in 2012. Another gift to Kim, seen at one point and then never seen again after the month. It says right here, though, that the cat was given away because of an allergic condition, but I don't actually want to go through this entire thing. It's kind of depressing. Another dog adopted, last seen just a few months later. This is like, it's kind of dystopian. Somebody said all for the clout moment. Yeah, it's definitely, well, it's really hard to speak to the intentions of people because I'm not the people I'm talking about. But if you do think to yourself, oh, new puppy, Instagram's going to love that. And then there's just no proof that this puppy exists beyond the initial Instagram posts. It's really, really disturbing. Someone said there's so many. Dude, I swear to God, it just keeps going on. This dog, a gift for an 18th birthday for Kendall Jenner. Last seen just a few months after that. A Christmas gift seen in this place, this, that, the other. Like, I am not actually here to get into the details of everything because I'm not doing that much research. This person really unpacked it. I'm just saying between them, there really shouldn't be that many, man. Rehoming is a thing that can't happen, and I don't want to sound like I'm unaware of that. I'm just saying, again, this is striking me more as a Justin Bieber-esque approach to pets. Somebody said their props disgusting. Yeah, no, it's not good. So someone said, what do you think actually happens to these animals? Real question. I would just imagine they're given away with no thought as to, I don't know, it's just not my problem anymore, is what I would guess. Which I feel like, is that not kind of traumatic? Can you back me up if you know anything about animals here? I realized I forgot to give a disclaimer in the beginning of this video. I don't own pets. I've lived with pets before, but like, I don't think taking or having a dog for a very brief period of time, and because you did not do research to make sure it would be a good fit, and then just knowing that you can willy-nilly unload the dog onto somebody else, I don't think that's a good thing to do. Somebody said, just joined, I'm a dog trainer, just the title raised my blood pressure. Oh, I'm sorry, you're actually going to hate. Everyone's going to hate this video, but I'm really sorry. You're not. No. Someone said poor animals, they need stability. Yeah, no. Someone said the assistants take care of it, probably. Yeah, that's another thing too. But listen. Someone said it can be incredibly distressing to the pets. Yeah, I would imagine. Because there's all this speculation and none of it seems good from the outside. You can imagine that people were recently a little put off to see Kim Kardashian proudly announce, ta-da, look at the 4 Pomeranians that I just bought, one for each of my kids. Each kid got a puppy, she says. And it's like, Kim, what are we doing here? Why are we still here? Just to suffer? Usually, I feel like when people online speculate about things that are happening in celebrities' personal lives, I typically think it's a tad too parasocial, but I'm sorry. Call me parasocial. I'm genuinely worried about the dogs. What is going to happen to them? What is actually going to happen? I want to show you an example of what this is like for people who actually follow them. On this BuzzFeed article about this, you have this comment right here where it says, somebody said, why do I remember, I just realized Chad is covering it. Here, I'll try to move it for you guys. Why do I remember an episode that 2 kids got Pomeranian puppies? Kim got one for North and Courtney had one for Penelope. Kim tried switching them because she liked Penelope's better. So what happened to those puppies? Likely just a storyline for that episode. It goes deep. And from what I saw, people have actually made videos about this that you can find. I can't really do all of this. Also, one thing that I saw, because Kim K was getting slammed by PETA. Wait, getting slammed? Why am I borrowing? Borrowing headline language for this? Because Kim K was getting called out by PETA over this. You had a lot of people being like, well, you know what? Screw PETA. And I'm like, that doesn't change the fact that this isn't a good thing. I think in people's in people's burning PETA hate, they're sort of ignoring that actually a good point is a good point. And the likely purchasing of 4 designer Pomeranians for your children isn't actually a responsible thing to do. Someone said Kim K destroyed by PETA. Yeah, no, man. Someone said the Kardashians have had literally dozens of animals disappear. Man, that's a rabbit hole I'm just literally unwilling to go through. Truly. Anyways, someone said, as much as I hate Jeffrey, he seemed to actually care about his dogs. Correct me if I'm wrong. I actually have no idea. I haven't looked at Jeffrey in a while. And I will say this, though. Some of the people that we are talking about today, I think they do love their pets. And I just have other questions that are not actually questioning that relationship. Anyways, kind of moving off from this because that's a lot going on here. I guess the next thing I would like to talk about, because it's like, why are we still here, is celebrity pet cloning. Yay. Tom Brady says he cloned his dog. Cue the critics. Okay. All right. Okay. I really love this, like, cue the critics. Like, yeah, no, this is going to get criticized. So the New York Times reports that Tom Brady, I'm sorry, this is so weird. In a few months, Colossal gave my family a second chance with a clone of our beloved dog, Mr. Brady said. He had worked with the company and he created a cloned version of his elder pit bull mix, Lua. And why? We're getting back into that territory of, if you could have a pet monkey, you would, because monkeys are awesome. I do genuinely understand being sad at the thought of your pet disappearing forever and wanting to have some sort of connection to them, but cloning an animal when actually there's so many animals that need to be rescued is just kind of, someone said that's so wrong on so many levels. Yeah, that's literally just one way of looking at it. In general, dude, this is very odd. Somebody said unnecessary AF. Yeah. Someone said, but is the clone truly your pet that died? That's the thing that, okay, now I don't want to sound like I'm criticizing grieving pet parents, but don't you think that your dog is one of a kind? That's kind of how I feel. I don't want, I don't even want to try again to maintain that sort of connection, if that makes sense. Someone said a clone, why does cloning exist in real life? It should just stay in science fiction. Yeah, no, well, hold on. I don't know the actual scientific basis of this technology, but I will say this usage of it is really just playing into, again, what strikes me as being irresponsible. Somebody said, no, criticize them. I'm hella criticizing them. Someone said, while I miss my dog, I know if we'd gotten him cloned, it would not be the same dog. Yeah. And I mean, that's not to say exactly that Tom Brady literally thinks this is the same dog, but framing this as they gave my family a second chance with a clone is just really odd. And then you also kind of find out Barbara Streisand has done this. Paris Hilton has done this. Paris Hilton is actually an investor in the company that was cloning people's dogs. The company has said it's cloned 15 species, including a black-footed ferret and oof. Oh man, and a type of endangered Mongolian horse that I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce. I'm sorry. PRZE is new for me personally. I'm not calling it weird. I'm just saying I actually would not even know how to begin saying that. Somebody said this feels super dystopian. Yeah, the dystopia vibes are what are striking me more than anything. Someone said, how legal is this? I couldn't tell you. I mean, I feel like even if this was something that was actually illegal, it wouldn't matter because celebrities would still get away with it. But what can you really do? Sometimes that feels like avoiding grieving. Yeah, no, man. People are saying Chevalsky. Are you being for real? It's Chevalsky's horse. Did I sound okay saying that? Including a black-footed ferret and Chevalsky's horse. Okay, I'm gonna take those people's word for it. He said it's a Polish word. I hope that wasn't a butchery. I apologize. Somebody said robots will be next. Bro, they're already trying to do robots and I'm annoyed. Have you seen the Tesla robot? Tesla robot. They're already trying to do robots. And I'm like, listen, I love me some technology. I really, really do. But brother, I don't trust Elon Musk to lead any sort of robot revolution, okay? Someone said you did so well. Thank you. Well, credit to the people in chat who put it in a way that I parsed a little bit easier. All right, anyways. It costs $1,600 to preserve a pet's genetics, according to Viagen's website, but the actual cloning cost $50,000. Barbara Streisand talking about this says, she began the process of cloning her dog Samantha in the pet's dying days, a loss she said she was devastated by. I just wanted to keep her with me in some way, Streisand explained. It was easier to let Sammy go if I knew I could keep some part of her alive, something that came from her DNA. This is the part where you're really, 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 really losing me. Like, you're big time losing me, because this is more so a personal thing, but I actually really do not understand everybody's insistence on genetic relation at all. I really don't. I don't get that one, or why. But I think I'm kind of like broken or something. Like, I don't even understand why your kid actually has to be related to you. That's the level of me not understanding the gene thing that I'm approaching. Like, if I had a kid, which is not gonna happen, and they had just completely different, they just came from somewhere else, I'd be like, well, that's still my kid. You know what I mean? Also, those ties are not nearly as strong enough as people act, because they'll be like, yeah, this is my kid because those are my genes, and then you will mistreat that person and not look out for their well-being. So I feel like there are some bonds that go a little further beyond genetics, but that's just my opinion. Someone said, I want to foster or adopt. Yeah, no, like, that's a completely valid thing to do. Someone said, I big time agree on that. I'm glad you're seeing what I'm saying about this whole genetic thing. Like, but it's okay. It's okay. That's how I came from, or that's where I come from. Someone said, is it really the same animal? Obviously, the answer is no. Critics say adopt instead. Call me a critic if that's where we're going with this. But yeah, yet another way that your average person could not possibly afford to clone their dog. Man. Someone said, do you think that this is an out-of-touch celeb thing, or do you think regular people would do it if they could afford it? I wouldn't personally. I think that regular people would do it if they could afford it. I do. Well, when it comes to people participating in technological things that I consider to be unethical, I usually blame the tech companies. So for example, when it comes to, like, say you see these stories of amazing musicians who have had decades long careers suddenly embracing AI, and I 100% blame the companies, because I feel as though they're misleading people and lying about what this thing really is. And that's how I would feel if normal non-celebrities started, like, cloning their pets and stuff. I would feel like, because these companies are lying, and, like, a clone is not your pet. you're not really doing anything. You're just paying a lot of money for something that's not achieving whatever it is you're looking for. But that's just my opinion. Someone said I'm adopted, so it doesn't matter to me either. Yeah, no, I don't know. Someone said the blood of the covenant is stronger than the water of the womb. Well, it sounds so, like, biblical when you put it like that. It sounds so biblical. Someone said, I hate that I just found out Imogen supports AI. Okay, I've been on topic for 24 minutes and 22 seconds without a single digression, but you just made me sad. don't feel bad. I already felt bad about this, but actually, Imogen Heap, Imogen Heap, listen, y'all don't understand. Yeah, or maybe you do, but I can't really explain to you how sad it is that Imogen Heap has embraced AI music. She's really done it. And maybe, God. She says, how was AI utilized in the making of this music video? She says, neither the song nor the video were created by AI. They were created by dozens of artists. The utilization of AI was done strategically and superficially. Sang by me. I timbre transferred or swapped out my human voice sound for a model I trained off of my own voice. And I'm like, Imogen, you could just sing. I love her body of work so much, genuinely so much. I'm so in awe and enamored by the things that she's created over the decades, honestly, past few decades. But yeah, when I saw, I get recommendations for new music, and they were like, "Oh, listen to this new song, Imogen featuring AI Imogen," and I was like, "Someone hacked her," but that's not what happened. I got really sad. I got really sad over that one, dog, personally. Someone said, dude, she was so talented. My mom always played her when I was a kid in the 2000s. We are really, really, we being just creative people or creativity enjoyers, we are going through it right now. It's a bad time to be a fan. It's a bad time to be a fan of music or movies when you have these really, like, honestly talented people coming out in support of AI. Another one that I saw that I was like, this cannot be real. This literally cannot be real. Natasha Lyon, who's actually, I want to make sure I'm not mispronouncing her name. Sometimes I struggle with like double ends. Okay, they say Leon. I'm gonna say it that way. Natasha Leon kind of going like head first all in into this sort of AI thing that she wants to do, or like bringing it into the filmmaking process or whatever. And I'm just like, there's no way. Again, somebody who is actually like so talented, someone who is so deeply talented, and I'm like, they got you. And also, these people are adults. These are choices that they're making, despite obviously hearing about the unethical nature of this. So I'm not trying to actually infantilize them and be like, oh no, save them. I'm just like, why this choice? No, sad. Somebody said I hate this so much. Yeah, no, look, time 100 AI 2025. I've always been a punk, says Natasha Leon, but AI is the thing that's going to flip me into a hippie, because now's the time to get super low to the ground and human. And she's essentially talking about becoming interested in how AI filmmaking tools could give her more autonomy as a rising filmmaker on a budget. And I'm like, AI should inspire you to be more creative. No, that's not what I meant. A low budget should inspire you to be more creative. That's what you should be looking at AI tools and doing. Someone said this is anti-punk. No, I literally feel like there is nothing less punk. There's nothing less alternative. There's nothing, whatever subculture or counterculture you want to substitute for there's nothing less that than going all in with AI tools. Personally, someone said don't offend hippies like that. No, that's true too. Counterculture. Excuse me. Personally, I did take a look at the state of the world, the state of my job. I looked at AI because, listen, there's a lot of people using AI right now to make the things that you're watching. Well, not this. AI can't go live yet. But I looked around and I saw creators implementing AI, using AI for little clips in their videos and being like, oh, I can't find stock footage of this, so I'm going to create that. Using AI for their thumbnails, which really pisses me off. Just all of these usages that I don't really want to see. And instead of looking at all those things and saying like, this is the future now, because this is what people are doing, I just got really, really stubborn. And I was like, okay, well, I guess it happened. Listen, I've been interested in technology as long as I've been alive. Some of the first things I remember thinking were cool were like a Nintendo DS, for example. Wow, technology. I've always been that person who is like, no, I love this. This is great. And don't be a Luddite. Don't get left behind. But I was like, if this is where I get left behind, leave me behind. I'm just going to be more human. I'm going to record all my videos live. I'm going to ramble for a 5 to 10 minute digression about AI in the middle of talking about pets, because I just want people to feel like they are watching real content. And I rely on a lot of self-selection, and it's been working out for me thus far. Someone said I've stopped watching creators who use AI for their thumbnails. Yeah, because it's just like, dude, I mean, I get me. Excuse me, I get really mean, honestly, when I think about fellow creators doing it, because I'm like, you're so lazy. It doesn't, especially creators who were already fine before AI embracing it. I'm just like, wow, you actually could not bear the thought of having to do any work. None. You're literally that, like, stereotype of an influencer who thinks like, I should not have to do any work ever. And AI was definitely the finally, as an influencer, I can stop having a job button for a lot of creators. But whatever, I'm just salty. I'm just salty as somebody who is still over here single-handedly generating, using my time and creativity, every single bit of content you've gotten from me this year. Some say AI makes me so mad. People are so uncreative. For real. Gen AI is just not it, man. Anyways, shifting back into... Actually, that wasn't even that bad of a digression, because we were talking about celebrities cloning their pets, and then weird unethical tech things, and then we spiraled into AI. So that one actually makes sense. Next, I would like to talk about using animals as accessories on the stage or the runway. Okay, let's go ahead and start off with Cardi B bringing a raven or a rook. Sorry, I don't really know my corvids like that, to this fashion show. So this probably has copyrighted music. I'm just gonna mute it and talk over it. I certainly understand the point here. And also, it's worth noting that the bird is on a leash, has a handler. It's not just Cardi holding a random creature. But dude, because like, on the one hand, obviously you understand why her album Am I the Drama kind of has like corvids as the aesthetic, but putting them on an album cover is one thing. I think putting them in this environment is honestly quite another. Somebody said, oh no, that poor bird. Yeah, and you spark a lot of discourse with this sort of thing. Hold on, let me see if I can find some. I put it all in my outline because I wanted to get into it. So somebody posted, I'm gonna pause this. Somebody posted, we don't need animals at events like this. And you know what? In a vacuum, no matter what sort of points pro or against this, I'm 100% in agreement with that comment. We don't need animals at events like this, man. They're not benefiting from being there. But someone said, as a goth girly, I just thought this was so cool. When I saw the photos, I didn't realize it was a live crow. They 100% could have just sculpted a prop. And somebody said, I mean, if the bird is a wildlife rehab, you can see the handler just off to the side, and is already an animal ambassador, I don't see the issue so long as there's someone on site dedicated to the critter's welfare and comfort. Somebody said the music is on. Wait, oh, was it? Is the music still on? I don't see any. Wait, I didn't realize that I still had the music on. Okay, hold on. Which? Someone said, I think you need to re-record this. It wasn't muted. How long has the music been on, chat? Thank you for telling me, because I didn't even realize. Which part did I say it wasn't muted? Nah. Hold on. I think my thing isn't outputting to me. It's outputting to you guys. Let me turn audio monitoring on. This is so funny. All right, y'all better start acting. Y'all better start acting right now. Let me give you the scene. Let me give you the setup. We just finished talking about AI, and it's people embracing it who, despite being talented, which I find sad. We're gonna revert to me switching to the crow thing. I think I had said the next thing I want to talk about is animals being used as props on stage and on the runway. So y'all need to act like this is the first time you're seeing this clip of Cardi. Yeah, the first time you're seeing this clip of Cardi with the bird, okay? Thank you. Cardi B, for example, bringing this rook or crow, or sorry, I don't really know my corvids like that, but Cardi B bringing this crow-like entity with her to this Paris fashion show. I'm gonna leave this muted because I don't want to catch a copyright claim, but yeah, this happened, and obviously I understand where she's going with this. Wait, I feel like that wasn't even the clip I used originally. Hold on, I had a better clip than that. I'm mad. Here we go. Okay, we'll use this one too. There we go. We'll keep going. I will say I really don't know anything about birds. I can see that the bird has a handler that's off to the side. It does kind of seem agitated, but that's just me speaking as a bird noob, okay? There we go. We fixed that. We fixed that. We've never been more muted. Okay, then the second thing I said, and now I already have it pulled up, was I understand where she's coming from, right? She's using corvids as the aesthetic for her album cover, Am I the Drama? But obviously there's a pretty marked difference between using birds as an aesthetic and using an actual bird, which is a living creature, in an environment like this. Now, I think we can get into some new stuff. I had mentioned, so this is still sparking some discourse though. For example, you have this person right here saying we don't need animals at events like this, which I categorically agree with. No matter how many pros or cons you're about to see, we don't need animals at events like this. The animals aren't benefiting. And someone says, as a goth girly, I thought this was so cool. When I saw photos, I had no idea it was a live crow. They could have sculpted a prop crow to complete the look. And somebody says, I mean, if the bird is a wildlife rehab, you can see the handler just off to the side and is already an animal ambassador. I don't see an issue so long as there is someone on site dedicated to the critter's welfare and comfort. Okay. We can stop acting. You got it twice. You got it twice. Someone said, I think this is a rook and not a raven. Oh, okay. I thought it was a crow. So this is likely a rook, not a raven or crow. But I think all the points remain. Somebody right here says bringing to an event is not dedicating to its welfare. Yeah, I feel like even if you want to argue that rook itself was not, stressed out by this, I think just as somebody trying to be critical of the things I'm consuming, I'm still confused as to why the bird had to be there. Somebody said right here, it's harmful to promote using live animals. There's no way that my audio muted. Refresh the page. Refresh the page. Refresh the page. Can you guys hear me? If you can hear me, tell me if you can hear me. Because everyone is saying that they can't hear me. Someone said I sound normal. Somebody said it's fine. Refresh the page. Audio's perfect. Yeah, no, guys, it's not me. It's YouTube. Refresh the page. Oh my God. Why do they always do this? Hold on. We'll go to my favorite website, wordcounttools.com. Refresh the page. Refresh the page and then you will be able to hear me. Okay, there we go. Oh my God, the chat is going so fast. What the heck? Okay, that is scary. That is so scary. But yeah, I think we're back. I've literally never seen my chat do that ever. That was genuinely terrifying. I would have to get like 10 times as many moderators if it actually moved like that on a daily basis. That was so scary. People are still saying no sound. You gotta refresh the page, man. You gotta refresh the page. Hold on, let me bring it back. I gotta get people back on. Refresh the page. I can't possibly make it any bigger. All right, all right, all right, all right. We should be good. Someone said your camera is off. Get out of here. Get out of here with that. Don't get out of here with that. Don't mess with me. Not on my live stream. Not on a perfectly good Tuesday. Because then I'll read that and I'll think, oh my God, my camera is off. Despite literally seeing myself. Despite having a little window open just in case to make sure that nothing weird is happening. Anyways, okay. I think we're good. I think we're good. I think the vast majority of people here can hear me. So let's get back into it. I love how I went from having a self-imposed issue called me forgetting to mute everything to then immediately following that up with a YouTube issue. Like, the timing of that is spectacular, but I'm going to take that as a sign that we're not going to have any more issues. I'm going to take that as a sign that we're not going to have any more issues today, okay? Someone said, okay, we're all good. We're all good. We're all good. Someone said, what's the topic? Oh, we're talking about celebrities using... We got very derailed because of tech issues. Both my fault and YouTube's fault. But we're talking about celebrities using pets as props. So, can I get back into this topic? Because I really like it. Somebody in response to the, oh, what if it's a wildlife rehab, said it's harmful to promote using live animals as fashion accessories. Also, the goal of wildlife rehab is to release the animal into its natural habitat. Is being chained in front of paparazzi at Fashion Week this bird's natural habitat? These environments are inherently uncomfortable. You can literally see Cardi having discussed the paps in this video. It says none of the news coverage has any info about this bird, nor has Cardi shared any info or educational material, so it's not an animal ambassador either. Someone said animals should not be used by humans, period. No, I agree with that. I agree with that. Look, that will get you labeled some sort of extremist or whatever, but honestly, I agree. Now, do I live in a way that 100% supports that? No, unfortunately. But you know what? I think morally, I agree. I don't think animals' mere existence as non-human entities means we just have full sale right to do whatever it is that we want to do with them or use them for whatever materials or resources. But people really, really hate when you say that. So watch it, buddy. Watch it, buddy. They're going to jump you. Someone said food, though. I mean, that's its own topic that I'm not even going to get into in this video because I'm mostly talking about props or being used as props or pets or etc. not being consumed, but it is what it is. Somebody said, my cat likes watching you. His name is Damien. Dude, the last topic that we have is about cats. I'm telling you that this is crazy. Listen to me. Listen, I feel like I don't know if I do a good job or bad job, but I try not to build up clips too big before I show them because I don't want to say, y'all, this is wild, this is unbelievable, and then show you a clip and then you're like, that wasn't that crazy. I'm telling you, the clip I have today about cats, I was like, there's no way that anybody said this. You actually could not pay me to self-report. But you know what? We're not there. We're not there. We're not there right now. Anyways, getting back into this. Somebody said we talked about veganism on Saturday. Exactly. If you want my thoughts on veganism, go back to Saturday's stream. But this is definitely a vegan-friendly space. Like, we're not going to make fun of you or start eating steak to make you uncomfortable on purpose. I think that's all very stupid. Anyways, moving on past this, I saw this thread about it that I liked. Hold on, let me make sure that I'm muting this tab. Okay, there we go. I saw this thread about it that I liked. Somebody said, there's a lot worse going on in the world of fashion, but I'm not sure I like seeing any animal used as a fashion accessory. And I would agree too that, like, not saying things are more worse, or someone says that about the actress who hates cats. Yes. Not saying that this is better or worse, but like, this is just one of the many things that you could very strongly criticize the fashion industry for. And I just find it to be kind of sad. Anyways, is that the last one I have for Cardi? Oh, I had another defense, I guess. Hold on. Muting this one. Someone says, I mean, it's not an ideal environment for a crow, but they're highly curious / adaptable species that thrive in city environments and sometimes hang around humans by choice. The shoot is happening outside, not in some dark studio with blinding flashes, and this crow is clearly professionally trained and calmly perched. I think this is one of those cases where I understand everything that you're saying, and you may know more than me. You probably do, but I just don't care. Please leave the birdie alone. You could have made like a fire bird puppet. Actually, imagine how crazy fire that would have been if Cardi B showed up with like this evil animatronic rook, raven, crow, corvid. That would be diabolical. And people can actually make things like that. I saw people in this thread suggest she could have teamed up with like the craziest artists, but it's a no for me. It's a no. Also, someone said the bird was not calmly perched. Yeah, Birdie did not look super happy, but again, I'm not a bird emotion reader. I'm just somebody who dresses like a crow, and that's not the same thing. That's not the same thing. Anyways, someone said I know more than them, and nope. I'm going to default to your opinion for real. So moving on from that, I would like to talk about Sabrina Carpenter using handling a dove on stage. There was a lot of discourse about like, yo, did the dove poop on her or whatever? But this was at the Grammys, which again was like a very overstimulating environment or a very stimulating environment. And you had the same thing where people were saying like, well, leave Sabrina alone. You know what I mean? The bird was clearly trained and is working with a handler. This was also a case where the bird's actual handler came forward and was like, y'all got to get all the info. So the handler said, I am the bird's handler, and we prepared for this for months. And Tina, the dove, is perfectly fine. Sabrina's a sweetheart and took the lessons very seriously. Tina's actually invited to Sabrina's birthday party this year, which we are considering attending. Thank you for all your concern. And then people asked about why was Sabrina like holding onto the dove's feet, or was she holding onto the dove's feet as you should or whatever. And the handler says Tina has acute arthritis in her feet, so she tends to squirm. But yes, that's how you hold a dove properly. And I'm like, the bird has acute arthritis, but is on stage at the Grammys. I'm sorry. I definitely understand that this is your profession. I am not trying to sound like an idiot, but you almost seem to be explaining why I think perhaps Tina the bird would just be happier not having to perform any sort of service or job or anything. Can't you just take care of animals? Ow. I hit my hand on my own desk. Maybe I'm actually getting a little heated. You're just saying the bird is uncomfortable in general because of things like this. I genuinely don't understand. Supposed to let her rest. Yeah, that's 100% how I feel about that. I listen. I bring up this meme all the time. Y'all probably know which meme I'm about to bring up. Oh, wow. All caps moment. That one friend too woke. Listen. I love this meme. Okay, it's funny. It's funny. And it's not how I'm trying to be, but I don't even feel like this is too woke category. I feel like these are actually just really cold takes. I feel like these are actually ice cold takes that just sound extreme to a certain kind of person, but like suggesting ultimately that if animals aren't doing nothing to you, we shouldn't really be doing nothing to them. I'm going to stick by that one, regardless of how that comes across in this video, man. Someone said, it's me. Exactly. Someone said we need to be too woke. We need to be too woke. Okay. We should all be that one friend that's too woke. I would rather be wrong in the opposite direction. But yeah, someone said free Tina. Dude, free Tina for real. Anyways, also some of the comments I saw excusing this were genuinely exhausting. Yes, I'm literally pulling these from like some random subreddit, but it's like Sabrina Carpenter faces backlash for using live bird during her 2026 Grammys performance. And again, you have people saying, oh, well, PETA, it was PETA who said the bird shouldn't be there, so screw PETA. People own doves. Who cares if she borrowed a pet for a performance from PETA and just them? I don't approve of abusing animals, but I'm not going to freak out about just holding a domesticated bird. You have people pointing out, dude, it's like the environment and the bird wasn't really needed or whatever. But no, people are just going on and on about this. And some of the comments in general, Americans Don't waste your energy over pointless stuff like that, please. Fixing fascism is going to need all of it. I'm so glad I found one of these comments in the wild. I've been trying to talk about this phenomenon for so long. And this is actually the first time I've been able to bookmark an example of it. I cannot stand people who try to turn literally every single comment section on the internet into some sort of you should be angry about bigger problems, specifically political. Listen, I say this as somebody who frequently tries to talk about the political aspects of my topics just so I'm not leaving information out. I'm so sorry, but a post about people criticizing Sabrina Carpenter for having a bird at her performance is literally not the space to start complaining about this. This is wild. Also, somebody says right here, understanding that living beings have experiences of fear and stress and pain, and that individual actions can cause or mitigate that living being suffering is critical to building any alternative to fascism, actually, which is such a good point. If you want to act like everything is connected, that is actually true and means that we should be talking about multiple things at the same time. Somebody said, I hate whataboutisms. We can advocate for multiple things at once. Yeah, no. Somebody said, I mean, D'Angelo, you used to do that in your older videos. I probably did. Maybe I did. And if I did, I wouldn't do it nowadays. I feel like there's so much space for multiple things to just please give me some separation of thought on the internet. But anyways, yeah, I knew people would be pissed. Maybe she knows the loudest people are the minority and the rest of us know there are bigger fights to put our rage into. Y'all are underestimating how much rage I have. And you're simultaneously overestimating how much rage I'm applying to the scenario. I feel like that's usually how I feel when people start talking about like there are other things in this world that you should be mad at. You're underestimating how much mad I have to go around. There's quite a bit of it, but you're also overestimating how mad I am. I'm critical of this thing, but that doesn't mean I think this is a bigger problem than, I don't know, the freaking Epstein files. You know what I mean? This is wild, man. This is wild. It's wild. I don't know, man. Someone said bigger fights in order to justify abusing animals is wild. Well, yeah, I would have to agree. Anyways, I got to get off of this thread because it's actually rage bait. The outrage addiction strikes again, talking about 40,000 around here. People died in the last 2 weeks, by the way. I'm sorry. Actual like purposely rage inciting bot farm website and like trying to deploy real issues in order to shut down people talking about other issues is it's so common on today's internet, man. It's so common. It's not a good thing. Someone said, also, what can we change right now versus what can we can't? Or what can we can't? That's not a good way of putting it. Yeah, no. Someone said, what are we talking about? I was talking about Sabrina Carpenter having a live dove on stage, which we finished talking about, actually. Okay, my next one that I'd like to talk about is, and I worry about this one because I worry about, so wait, someone said, I think there's something to be said about some people caring about animals before people, but that doesn't seem to be what they're saying. Yeah, I would agree too. Like, no, that's a good point. Actually, I have definitely seen people who seem to have more empathy or seem to more readily access their empathy when it comes to pets or animals than actual people. But again, I don't think that's what the people here were doing. It reminds me of that one meme. I can excuse racism, but listen, y'all. Oh, it's so blurry. Okay, it's just gonna be blurry. This was honestly one of the most brilliantly written lines in television. because this is definitely a kind of person. I can excuse racism, but I draw the line at animal cruelty. And it's like, you can excuse racism? Yes, people definitely do that, but that doesn't actually mean that every single person who talks about animal cruelty is doing so in the name of trying to distract you from other issues, which are also important. You feel me? Somebody said it's so good. No, that I probably think about this line multiple times a week because I see people I see people embodying this. I love that line so much. For real, for real. Anyways, moving on. I want to talk about okay. I worry. Someone said humans aren't superior to animals. We are also literally animals. I agree. I worry about this next one. I really don't want. Please don't get mad at me. I want to talk about emotional support dogs. Okay. Because I know a lot of people have those, and I'm not actually criticizing anybody for having one or having a really close bond with your pet. I just still think it's an interesting aspect to the scenario. You do get celebrities who kind of bring their dogs everywhere. Wait, I want to make sure there's no. You get those celebrities who bring their dogs literally everywhere. Like Demi Moore recently bringing her dog Pilaf to the catwalk show for Gucci. Also, she looks so demonic. I love her. I love her. Someone said you're about to trigger a lot of people. Okay, look, I ain't trying to trigger nobody. I really do not love being contrarian on purpose. You know what I mean? It's not my vibe. All I'm saying is you definitely will have people questioning, does the dog need to literally come with you everywhere? I'm not talking about service dogs. I'm not excusing that at all. In fact, please, whatever thoughts you're having about service dogs right now, take them, put them in the box. I love service dogs. I'm just saying this idea of having, you know, and one thing that people talk about a lot with Demi is you get a lot of like, no, Demi loves her dog, which I agree. I'm not actually trying to sit here and what's happening? I'm not trying to sit here. Okay, I hate Instagram so much, man. I hate Instagram. I'm not trying to sit here and say that we should all hate Demi Moore because she's, you know, mistreating her dog or whatever. Emotional support, Pilaf reporting for duty. The dog has a whole IG account. You can see essentially she never seems to be that far away from her pet mom or whatever pet parents call her pet parent, right? But like I just still think, even if it does specifically apply to one person, and maybe Demi does have her own reasons or whatever, it happens a lot. And I don't think every single person who brings their dog everywhere is doing so for the same reasons. Let's see. You see things like this happening again, pulling random threads. Someone said emotional support animals put the service dog system at risk. Oof. We could talk about that, and well, I could try to talk about that as somebody who doesn't know anything about that after I read this. So on a thread about this, someone said, I rarely, if ever, use the word hate on Reddit and in real life, but I hate celebrities taking animals in stressful situations like fashion shows and using animals as prop. There's no good reason to do it. You see people saying she really drags this dog everywhere like an accessory. But then similarly, you will also see people saying things like, she adores the dog. The dog has a great life, in response to people saying dogs are not fashion accessories. And it's like, maybe I always default to talking about myself because I don't have much other experience, but I get stressed out in scenarios like that. So maybe it's a dog per dog basis for sure. Someone said there's a big difference between an emotional support dog and a service dog. Yeah, that's the main thing I would like to say though, is like, again, please don't take this as criticism of service dogs. That's not it. I don't have negative feelings about service dogs. Actually, as I say, I really do quite love them. I think like it's just a different issue that I'm getting at here. Someone said two things can be true at once. Yes, definitely a multiple things are true scenario. Someone said the dog has a great life, probably, but like, how do you know? That is true low key that Instagram is not really representative of what the dog's life is like, though. The dog does seem to have a decent life. Someone said dogs are sweethearts at heart, but all of them are unpredictable. Yeah, for sure. Someone said I can see her just wanting to show her baby off, but still, yeah. But yeah, I'm not here to tell you Demi Moore needs to be canceled for, you know, always being around her dog or whatever. I'm just saying this is part of the discourse and definitely a thing that celebrities can get away with. Because I don't even think most people can take their animals every single place that a celebrity can get away with taking their animal. Reading. Someone said the dog is probably doing better than I am. Honestly, probably, most likely. I think doggy is fine, or she's safe or whatever. But yeah, reading. Somebody said there are legitimate and not legitimate emotional support animals. Please don't blame people who actually need emotional support animals for entitled people's behavior. I'm going to leave that in the video because, again, that's not, I agree with you. And that's not really what I'm coming for. Sometimes I see a lot more animals in stores now. I do notice that. There is a lot more animals in stores now, which is interesting. Reading. Someone said ESAs also need training. It's a hard job. Yeah, no, it's interesting. It's interesting. Service dogs have vests that say in bold they're a service dog and they act very different. Someone said, am I tripping? Are you live for the second day in a row now? Yes, hi, welcome. I'm live. I'm taking opinions right now on dogs and emotional support animals because I don't know anything about this and I default to people's thing. Someone says emotional support animals an actual thing with training. Yeah, so I guess I will loop this back into celebrity behavior of like, I don't think every single emotional support animal that celebrities have is actually the proper understanding of what this means, entailing training and having, you know, the right kinds of dogs and all of this. Someone said, I think the issues that people call untrained animals ESAs, they definitely do though. Someone said the vest is misinfo. Well, it could be. I feel like I've seen the vest before. Someone said, why are we forcing animals to get jobs? That's a question in and of itself too. Reading. Someone said, there are no IDs for service dogs down in the US or in the, why did I add it down? I just think of the USA as hell by default. There are no IDs for service dogs in the USA. I think you can't ask someone to show documents, but you can ask someone that does. Well, yeah, I would like to say I also don't go around questioning people in real life about their dogs because I feel like that is, for me personally, not productive behavior. I'm like, hey, you got a license for that animal? That's not how I do it for sure. Anyways, someone said, can people who just bring their pets over cause problems for actual working service dogs? Well, I think they cause a lot of misunderstanding, which is what we're getting in this from me right now and just stuff like that. Someone said, I made it to the live for once. Welcome. But anyways, moving on beyond this, we've talked about celebrity pet cloning, Cardi B bringing her raven to an awards show, or a rook, not a raven. Sabrina Carpenter using a dove as a prop, animals still being taken care of by handlers, but it's still being possibly overstimulating or unnecessary. Demi Moore and Pilaf, who I do love, and Pilaf does look happy, but you know, we talked about Justin Bieber and his history of just giving away his pets to fans and backup dancers, which is very strange. Lastly, I think I would like to talk about this resurfaced clip of Jessie Buckley. I almost don't know what to make of this clip, man. I almost don't know what to make of this clip. So for those of you who don't know, someone says celebrity pet cloning. Oh yeah, I'm sorry if you missed that one. That was kind of a big one. Jessie Buckley is an actress. I think recently really popped off for her performance in Hamnet, and she's here with Paul. Actually, I don't want to mispronounce his name. Paul Mescal pronunciation. Can we pronounce this correctly? Mescal. Okay, great. I'm going to do that correctly. Jessie Buckley and Paul Mescal talking about cats in this resurfaced clip that people are talking about. And this is very, very odd. Someone said, shout out Sid Dwyer. Yeah, Sid Dwyer, I believe, has videos about disappearing pets, where if you actually want to go down that unfortunate rabbit hole, a lot of research has been done for those for sure. Someone said, oh God, this clip. Yeah, no, let's go ahead and get into this clip. I saved it for the end on purpose because it is a lot. Wait, let's make sure the audio's fine.
Dog.
You said it.
Yeah, it's not. And I don't know why I thought it would be. Okay, hold on, wait. Let me do the volume master. We're gonna put that up to like maybe 330, as if that really makes a difference. Hold on.
It was such like, I mean, I'm with you, but like,
Oh, this is so much better. This is so much better, actually. Okay, maybe some things in the world are actually good. Someone said I avoided this because it makes me mad. Dude, it's actually upsetting. Okay, here we go.
are you dogs or cats? Where are you guys?
Dog.
Dog. You said it was such like, I mean, I'm with you, but
I
like,
don't like cats.
Fuck cats, honestly. Fuck them.
are you actively trying to ruin your career? Like, what's...
So this isn't the full clip. You're allowed to not like. You're allowed to not like cats. Someone said you listen to Rhythm. I do, but how do you know that? What gave you that information? Oh, wait. Are you referring to this down here, or it says Virtual Riot reacts to Polyrhythm by Phonon? That's so funny. Yeah, I accidentally signed in to my. Hold on, we'll get back to the cats. I signed into YouTube a few weeks ago and I forgot to sign out. And yeah, I guess you are getting some of my recommendations. I like Virtual Riot. I also like Phonon, and Polyrhythm is actually a good song. Rhythm in general is a really great genre. It can get very samey and repetitive, but I really like it. Kind of reminds me of old dubstep. But that's so funny. I was like, how does this person know that? How does this person actually know that? Anyways, but these, I haven't watched any of these videos. This is not my watch history, y'all. This is just an old account. But listen. You're allowed to not like cats. I do feel like not liking cats is kind of a strong reaction. I feel like if anything, I would more so understand, what's the word I'm looking for? Apathy towards cats. Where you're like, oh, I don't really love cats. I'm not somebody who sees a cat and gets inspired to do anything one way or another. Being like, you know, F cats, screw them. I don't like them. I'm just kind of like, what did the cats do to you? Somebody said, I want cats to like me. Yeah, no, and I feel like in general, just like disliking an entire species of animal is like, what? But there's so many different kinds of cats. There's like little bread cats. There's cats that look like bread. There's flying cats. Have you ever seen those? They just like hate being on the ground for too long. They have to just fly through the air. You get like alien cats. I've seen a lot of demon cats. There's like space cats for sure. Cats come in so many genres. I couldn't really imagine disliking them. And I say that as somebody who doesn't have any pets. I go back and forth about wanting pets and not wanting pets. And because I go back and forth, I don't get them. Because I go back and forth, I feel like it would never actually be responsible of me to get an animal and try to take care of it and do these things. If I'm the kind of person who is wishy-washy before the animal's even in my presence, I would never want to be wishy-washy and then negatively affecting another being, right? But like, it's definitely a certain kind of person who doesn't like cats sometimes. Not all the time. Some people just don't really rock with cats because of their own personal experiences, but it can definitely be a certain kind of person. Somebody said there's small cats, big cats. We didn't even get into the big cats. There's so many big genres of cats too. Somebody said, I want cats. I yearn for cat validation. Yeah, I feel like instead of disliking cats, you should just be the kind of person that a cat would like. But anyways, also, I've been scratched by a cat as a child. Because I didn't understand boundaries. I was literally a child and it hurt really bad. But you know what the cat and I learned to do? The cat's name was Thoreau. Like actually Thoreau. It wasn't my cat. But I did live with Thoreau for quite a while. And initially, pure hatred. We did not get along with each other at all. Because I thought that Thoreau should love me. I was a 12-year-old. And everyone had always loved me. So this cat not actually paying attention to me was like the biggest slight imaginable to 12-year-old me, the center of God's universe. But after Thoreau was like, yo, I hate you. And I was like, what? And actually, it was so like painful and raised. I was like, I started watching Thoreau. I started watching him from a distance. So I'd be over here like eating Rice Krispie treats, and Thoreau would be over there in the corner just being antisocial, and we'd be looking at each other. Like, I was like, I'm really gonna figure her out, and by the time I leave here, you're gonna like me too, because I was emotionally dysregulated. And by golly, it actually worked. Thoreau never said a kind word to me, not in the entire time that we were together, but I think by the time I left, he tolerated me. And in cat language, that's huge. He may as well have like confessed his undying admiration. I was like, yo, I think he doesn't actually hate me anymore. So if you don't like cats, like, you could also just level up. Have you considered that? Have you considered that? Someone said cats taught me to chill the F out. No, for real, for real. Anyways, someone said F cats. Listen, F cats alone, somebody just saying screw cats, is not enough for me to say categorically you are a bad person. It's the rest of this clip. It's the rest of this clip. Because you're entitled to your opinion, man. Look.
Coachella.
Coachella. Ah, yeah.
Fuck cats.
Coachella.
Cats are mean. Cats are mean.
Drop this, bro.
Yeah.
The cats, they're too clever.
Yeah.
I got like my husband, when I started dating him, he had 2 cats. This is bad, so I'm going to get cancelled. But the one of the cats was like a pedigree model bitch, and
Okay, Jesse. Coming in hot. Coming in a little strong.
she staged like a coup against me. I'd come home and there'd just be like poo on my pillow,
Right.
and I was like, it's me or the cats. It's me.
She didn't like this interloper. This is my house.
No.
And you took over.
But I
didn't you? You won.
Sorry.
And finally, a food that makes you confused.
It's me or the cats, but I won. It's crazy work. That's wild. That's actually genuinely wild. There's... Buddy. That's why I told you earlier. I was like, okay, this clip is actually kind of really out there. There's no way that you just seem to be implying that you gave your partner an ultimatum and you were chosen, and you see this as some sort of strange win. This is that weird behavior that I'm trying to tell you. Celebrities really be thinking like this. And you know what? So do a lot of people who are non-celebrities as well. It just seems to be a lot more prominent, or maybe they're more vocal about it, or like, buddy, this is not the way. Somebody said this is British sarcasm. Listen, maybe she's just joking. You know what? I'll raise a flag for over under on maybe she's just memeing. Maybe she's not being serious. I mean, I don't think she's British though. Or is she British? Maybe she is British. I don't know anything about anything. It says she's Irish. But anyways, but she was on the BBC. Buddy, someone said red flags. Someone said this is a terminally online issue. Well, again, not to sound like I'm trying to distract from the plight of the world, I just think it's an interesting bookend for this conversation of like, it's so interesting. It's so interesting. It's so interesting. Someone said there can be nuance and circumstances, but her glee. Yeah, I'm probably going to wind up, I'm seeing the response in this chat and now realizing I'm probably going to wind up with a little bit split in the comments with people saying like, this literally doesn't matter at all. I don't think it actually matters per se. The rest of this clip is boring AF, but like, buddy, I think what I would like to say is, regardless of the verity of Jesse's claims, whether that was just a funny thing, even though she did say how I'm going to get canceled before saying this, people can be really weird about cats and it pisses me off. Maybe that's how I feel. And I think that sort of explains why people were reacting strongly, include me, and part of the people that were reacting strongly to this. Like, But yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it, man. Someone said people are too mean to cats. I think maybe that's what I'm arguing for, is just a general dose of like cat solidarity. Cats are great, and you can just leave them alone. I mean, obviously you should care for your own cats, right? But like, hold on, let me see if I can find some of my favorite cat genres. Oh yeah, this one's pretty great. No, wait, hold on, I gotta find a better one. Like this, for example. Wait, hold on, sorry, I'm trying to make sure that I don't pull AI memes. I literally hate like searching for memes on the internet nowadays because 50% of what comes up are AI. But listen, this is my favorite cat genre. Okay, I talked about all the different kinds of cats that a cat can be, and black hole cat is definitely my favorite for sure. Nothing but a void. Like, what is there to hate? Well, this is vitriol. Someone said even if she is joking, there are people that truly feel that way and do these things. Yeah, no, again, I know a lot of my videos, I usually come on really strong, and I'm like, this person, I for sure can tell you, is bad news and this, that, the other. I more so just thought it would be interesting to talk about the way that celebrities talk about pets and information that you honestly could not pay me to share. Someone said little hunting voidlings. Yeah, no, this for me for sure is peak. Someone said I have a black cat. He's sweet. I bet. Yeah, black cats are like nice. Cats in general they're nice. I don't know. They're not super lovey-dovey, and some people, like I did when I was a child, get really mad when a creature does not give you their undivided attention. And sometimes I feel like that's a lot of y'all's problems with cats personally, but it's okay. It's okay. Someone said, I feel so strongly about this subject. I would just like to validate you. It's okay to feel very strongly about this. You ain't crazy, for having an opinion. In general, I feel like people can be way too like, I'm trying to think of how to word this. Sometimes I feel like people can shift into like, someone said cats are lovey-dovey. Oh, wait. Okay, yeah, sorry. I don't want to speak for all cats because obviously there is a certain kind of cat temperament that actually does enjoy, proximity and these things. There's also just aloof cats, which are probably the cats most people are thinking of when they say things like this. But I think in general, though, like, when you see a lot of people react really strongly to things that aren't big deals, sometimes people come down really hard on it. And they're just like, this doesn't matter. And everybody is outraged because everyone's looking to be outraged. But I'm just like, I don't know, man. It's discourse. It's worth discourse. Someone said my cat is a total ham. For real. Anyways. That's all I had to say about cats. Jesse Buckley and Paul Mescal, you're allowed to not like cats. I'm not trying to strip you of your right to do that. That's all I had to say about Justin Bieber handing off a dog with medical issues and then not even paying for the dog's issues, handing off hamsters. That was just a couple things. His monkey, that wound up getting detained. That's all I had to say about the Kardashian-Jenner family's history of disappearing pets, as well as the 4 Pomeranians that she was like, this is a great idea to bring 4 of them at the same time, 1 for each kid. That's all I had to say about Demi Moore and Pilaf, who is very cute, to be fair. Pilaf looks great. That's all I had to say about doves on stage, Sabrina Carpenter. That's all I had to say about corvids on the runway, Cardi B. And that's definitely all I had to say about celebrity pet cloning, which is an incredibly strange topic. That could be a video in of itself, but I've already made a video about pet cloning a very long time ago, years and years ago. Someone said this topic is giving D'Angelo flashbacks. No, dude, it's not good. Someone said, have you seen Punch the Monkey? I have, of course, I really have. But listen, before we say bye to YouTube, don't say bye yet. I want to know if there's other things that people have to say. Somebody said Logan Paul had a pet pig that he abandoned. Please look it up. I will. Listen, this is literally just me scratching the surface. There's so much to be said about this. I think it's more of like a vibe than anything. But last thoughts and opinions. Most people here have more experience with pets than I do. I mostly just tried not to sound like an idiot. What else do we got? Somebody said people are allowed to not like cats. I'm allowed to read that as a red flag for lack of respect for consent and boundaries. You definitely are. You definitely are. Someone said pet pageants. Can we talk about pet pageants? Oh, I feel like that would take a whole other set of sources that I would have to pull. In general, though, I do feel like when it comes to pet pageants, maybe my issue, and I feel like I really, certain people will disagree with you so hard on this, but I gravitate towards just leaving everybody alone all the time. And that includes animals. My idea of like how I would try to care for a pet or whatever is mostly just look up what needs it has. Like, oh, do I need to run around for this amount of time per day? Look up the nutrition, make sure the pet is healthy, and then mostly just try not to have the animal do things for me. You need to learn how to perform or be here with me, or I don't know, man. But it's such a tricky topic. It's such a tricky topic. Someone said the idea of pets in general is strange. It can be for sure. I mean, like, caring for animals that, you know, are rescues or whatever, I'm not knocking, but I do think in general some people are just like, I want a pet, so I am going to buy one off of, you know, a breeder or clone. Someone said cats are so easy to care for. I home make my dog's food. It's fun. People with high pedigree cats don't care about their cats for the right reasons. Someone said, can we do a lighter topic? We can talk about a lighter topic after this, for sure. Wait. I'm trying to think about the thing that I wanted to mention after this and if it's actually lighter. I don't know. Someone said the cat or snake would be a good pet for you, D'Angelo. Snakes are fire. Reading. Hoarding pets too is concerning. Yeah, someone said we talked about Justin Bieber's monkey, though. We did, briefly. Standing 10 toes down on adopt, don't shop. Yeah, I would. I'll signal boost this message in my video. Don't buy a pet. You don't have to do that. Adopt a pet. I mean, you know what I mean. Cats are roommates, in my opinion, for real. All right. I think we're good. Unless there's anything that I am like totally missing. Someone said, as a cat owner, you did so well. Thank you. I'm going to try to take your word for it and hope that I genuinely hate talking about topics that I don't actually have experience with, because my biggest fear is just having however many hundreds of thousands of followers and getting however many hundreds of thousands of views and just saying the most idiotic takes you've ever heard because I didn't do any research and I think that I know everything. So I tried to be dumb for this video and approach everything as if I didn't have the right answers, because I know that I don't. Tarantulas, someone said get tarantulas. Tarantulas are fire. Someone said Dochi thread about hating cats. Okay, you know what? I guess we can talk about that because I did also see people talking about this. Since we're here. Again, this is an example of, you know, very emotional reaction coming from people, which makes sense. You should be emotional about animals. I don't even know where the thread is. Is it this one? Oh yeah. So Dochi, rapper, for those of you who don't know, singer, very talented musician, said, people act like it's a crime to dislike cats when they genuinely aren't friendly animals. They don't want to be domestic, just leave them alone. Like, it's not organic. I'm sorry, be for real. It's rare that cats are immediately lovey without years of pain and work put in. Y'all be scratched and beat the F up by your own animals. I can't. Me versus cat owners. And I'm like, do you maybe see why people find it weird? I think that's what I'll ask you. If you were somebody who doesn't think there's literally any sort of point to anything that I just said, and you're just like, you were literally overreacting about the cat thing, I can't take this anymore. Do you see why this energy just comes across as kind of weird and unprovoked and unnecessary and strange? Someone said misinformed. Yeah, it's also really not true that cats are like not friendly animals. I think that's a pretty unfair characterization of them. Someone said, like dogs don't bite their owners. Yeah, no, dog versus cats, or people who try to act like one animal is like better than the other, or the cats are bad for this reason or whatever. I'm just like, man, I can't do it. I can't do it. Someone said, what did the cat do to you? No, for real. And like, I don't know, man. You don't have to be, this is the same energy of like, I won. And you don't have to actually be in some sort of competition with the animals, man. Someone said you don't need years to make a cat friendly to you. I didn't personally. Someone said I would love it if she actually explained why she thinks that. Yeah, no, it's really hard to literally just react to a thread, right? Or a tweet or whatever post this is on, because this is purposely incendiary, which is why it has more likes than, or it has more comments than actual likes. This is on some level rage bait. Is that an unfair characterization? I'm trying to make sure that I'm not being annoying here, because I actually really do like Doechii, and I think she commonly gets criticized over things that don't actually matter, and people are constantly trying to find reasons to like disagree or whatever. But I'm like, I feel like going on threads and just randomly saying I don't like cats, and cat owners all get beat up by their cats, and this is me versus cat owners. I'm like, this is rage bait, man. Your music is dope, but I don't understand the point of this at all. Yeah, this makes me feel old. That's how I feel personally. Someone said it's just an unprompted take. Yeah, no, again though, like, I'm sorry. I don't, also like, I struggle with like topics that people get very heated about, because there is definitely a sort of glee of, and also when I was younger, I used to thrive off of starting, I won't use the word flame war in the comments, but I used to really like the fact that I could make a video and so many people would have so many comments and opinions and reactions. And I'm like, yes, I have so many thousands and thousands of comments. I still get thousands of comments, but like nowadays, as I get older, I find stuff like this to be more like, what if I just didn't put everybody on defense? So similarly, whereas I'm not trying to piss off cat owners, I'm also not trying to piss off Doechii stans and people who feel like their favorite is under attack, because she is, but that's really not where I'm coming from either. It makes me tired, man. It makes me tired. Someone said you can like someone and disagree with some of their opinions. This is that. Exactly. I feel like I'm one of her biggest fans. I'm just singling out this one thing and saying, oh, come on, that's not really cool. But yeah, I'm actually, even though I know this is a discourse video, I'm so tired of so much discourse, actually. Can we talk about discourse fatigue? Now listen, you can come for me, because that would essentially be my entire internet career. I do know that. Internet commentator. I contribute to a lot of discourse. A lot of times I'll just start discourse because I can, and I definitely understand that. But chat, sometimes I just get discourse fatigue, and I'm like, what if we didn't actually need like think pieces about what if we didn't need think pieces about cat owners? Or what if nobody argued today or felt the need to defend themselves over, I don't know. It's so interesting. Someone said discourse on the discourse maxing. Yeah, no, I literally have no right to talk. Someone said it depends on if the opinions are related to basic human rights. Oh no, I agree with that. I don't care how tired y'all are of me calling things out that are wrong or disenfranchising people, because I get tired of having to do that, but I don't get tired of doing that. But no, I am more so talking about things that don't, in my mind, always have to be discourse. Someone said dog haters are bigger red flags. Well, I would agree, they're just equally red flags. Oh, you know what would be useful, actually? I'll end this with giving some personal, I guess, input on me and pets. I've talked about this before on stream, but I've never said it in a video, so this will be new for all of you. Not all of you, but people watching. I'm probably never going to get a pet. I really do appreciate their existence, and I want them to be taken care of. I just personally struggle a lot with mess. I struggle a lot with smells and just sensory problems and things like that. And actually, a lot of times, mess or certain smells or whatever, or sounds just prompt rage on my part. It's not rational. It's not intentional. That's how I'm wired, unfortunately. And because of that, I am still not a pet hater. Just because I do often think to myself, like, oh, wow, this dog is noisy, or, you know, high energy, or smelly, or this, that, the other. And like, it becomes really overwhelming for me to deal with. I start suffering a little bit in the presence of dogs. I still recognize it's not the dog's fault. Hello? How would that actually translate to I need to take up some sort of anti-dog position or anti-cat? It's the same thing with cats. Now, granted, I have less of an issue, but I have still been horribly allergic to cats in the past. And again, if I myself can sort through all of these issues and not make it a problem for pets or the owners thereof, sometimes I don't really understand why we have this discourse in the first place. Does that make sense? That's why I'm bringing up the anti-cat hater. But if you're a Jessie Buckley fan or a Doechii stan, continue to be. I'm not trying to control you, buddy. I'm really not. Someone said Neopets. Yeah, I'll still bring back Neopets. Those are fire. Those are fire. Anyways, someone said it's misinformation that cats shouldn't be domesticated. And you're right, cats domesticated themselves. Yeah, no, there's a lot of information when it comes to these things, for real. But that's all I've got. I'm going to record an outro. And I think it's going to be good. Some I fear it's another D'Angelo W. We'll see when this video goes out. If I'm going to get an internet controversy this year, I don't want it to be over pets. Because I like them. I actually like them. Anyways, say bye, everybody. We're going to record an outro. Somebody said you don't have to own one, like them, in order to disrespect them. Or you don't have to own them or like them in order to respect them. Yeah, if people realize you don't have to like someone in order to respect them, I think that would solve a lot of problems in this world. But this video would double in length if we got into that. So hopefully you never have to think about this discourse ever again. I know I will try not to, but yeah, I actually recorded this video live right here on YouTube, where I stream quite frequently Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 12 p.m. Eastern. Unless I don't, in which case I'm probably just, I don't know, sleeping or straight up not working. It doesn't matter. But yeah, hopefully I see you in the next video or the next stream. And if I don't, that doesn't matter either. Okay, bye. All right. Stop recording. Okay, that was fun. That was fun. Yay. I enjoyed that topic. Well, enjoy. You know what I mean. I don't know, man. It's interesting. It's interesting. Somebody said, bye YouTube, bye Mix Wallace. Wait, no. Oh, the chat's not ending. Wait, don't leave. If you, I realized I forgot to give my usual disclaimer. If you're new to this, we're not finished recording. I still have, how much longer do I have? Oh, I still have like an hour or two or so left in me for sure. Yeah, no, we still streaming today. Trust. I've really been enjoying it. I feel like I've been on a roll. Some say you powered through it. I did. Yeah, no, pets. I'm going to be really careful with how I edit that one to make sure people see where I'm coming from. You know what's another thing too? Some say you can enjoy discussing even the topic isn't happy. That's how I feel about my whole internet presence. You know what's another thing too? I think like people will accuse you of, how to word this? Like, whereas I don't think like fence sitting is a good thing, I think it is a perfectly valid thing to actually not want to incite unnecessary discourse. I don't think that fence sitting is a good thing to do. So like, let's say I actually really did not like cats and I actually disliked them. I'm like, man, I can't deal with cats. If I made a video and I'm talking about cats and I secretly have an opinion on this thing and I don't share it because I know for sure no good is going to come out of this, I really don't think that's fence sitting. So if this video comes across real neutral to people and they're like, oh my gosh, D'Angelo didn't take a very strong stance one way or the other. Let's take strong stances on things that I have really strong opinions on, for real. Anyways, that's all I have to say. Someone said, what's fence sitting? Fence sitting is essentially when you don't want to piss off anybody on like one side about one side of an issue or the other side. So you purposely try to make sure that you're not like saying things that would piss this side off or saying things that would piss that side off. And I think a lot of things I just don't consider to be sides in the traditional sense. Like pets, there's a lot of versus dog owners versus cat owners, dog likers versus people who don't like dogs. And I'm just like, dude, drop the verses. Just respect animals and take care of them and don't contribute to their misfortune by doing unethical things. And we can all be good for real, for real. Anyways. Someone said, can we talk about the Chaperone discourse? Curious about your take on which discourse. Do you mean where she said about men not making good art? Is that what you're referring to? I don't know. I feel like, or maybe that was an old tweet or something like that. I have opinions on that, which I don't think are surprising at all, honestly. If that's what you're referring to, let me know. Someone said fence sitting is sometimes necessary in daily life, but it always feels cringe. I do agree, though. Like, someone said, what did she do now? I don't think she did anything. I feel like this is an old tweet, but I saw a video about it. Chaperone men art of people being really mad or whatever. Oh, here it is. Okay. So at some point in an interview, she said, I'm never dating a man again. I'm not attracted to them. I don't like having sex with them. I don't think they understand me. I don't think they make good art. And I think she said that a while ago, but I saw it make the rounds again, and there was more discourse and people trying to list every single man who was an artist or has ever created art. And I'm just like, I'm sorry. If you are a man and you're offended by this, you are definitely the reason. You're definitely exactly what she's talking about. I feel like if somebody says it's super old, yeah, it's very, 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 very old. I'm not trying to make this drama because I don't believe it's drama, but I'm sorry, you are literally the reason. Now, that being said, like, I feel like men in general can be super weird, are continually super weird about women trying to create non-man spaces for them. And I'm just like, that is really bizarrely intrusive of you to do as a man. If somebody is essentially saying they don't want you, then leave them alone. That's what I do personally. Someone said, God forbid a lesbian not want men centered in their lives. Yeah, you shouldn't be offended if somebody doesn't really want to deal with you in that capacity, in my opinion. I usually don't tell people not to get mad, but there's nothing to get mad at here. It doesn't have anything to do with me. I'll just try not to be horrible and everything is fine. But yeah, it's definitely, why do you want to be a horrible person and then also force everyone to like you for it too? It's confusing. I don't know. It's weird. Someone said men get so triggered by any man hating, which is just, if you're triggered by it, you should be self-reflecting. If you have a woman and she's like, I just don't like men or I hate men or whatever, and you're just like, ah. Brother, look within. Think about some things and why you may be reacting this way. And think about reasons that may motivate somebody to say something like this. Dude, I could do a whole video about the way men react to women talking about men disparagingly, even though the disparagement is usually the truth. But I won't do that because that actually will be flame war, me purposely starting discourse. Dude, I can't believe this. But anyways, that being said, that's old news. I don't think it's actual drama or anything I'm trying to like drag chapter 4. Not my point at all. Not my point. Someone said do it. I would have to look for a more recent example, or I would have to find a bunch of examples. That's usually the two things that I try to base my videos off of. If I'm not talking about something that just happened, I will try to talk about a bunch of things that happened. So it's not just me pulling one old thing and going ham, going crazy with it. Someone said men are still butthurt over the man versus bear thing. And we've talked about that. We've talked about that too. The man versus bear debate. It's not nice to call people stupid. It's not nice to call people stupid. But it's so stupid to get mad at somebody for saying that they would choose the bear. It's so utterly ridiculous to get mad at someone for saying they would choose the bear. Get mad at a woman. I've already talked about this for multiple reasons. Because again, you're getting into this space of why are you trying to do horrible things and then also have everyone like you for it. Oh yeah, women criticize men for doing these things that make them feel unsafe. But how dare you acknowledge that? But there's also just I've actually hyperfixated on the man versus bear debate too much for my own good. I realized like, oh, this doesn't even have anything to do with discourse. Why would there be a random man in the woods? Listen, we should all be answering the bear. We should all be answering the bear. That's, it's not even like, yes, it's kind of about gender but like, yeah, some people may live in the woods. I'm actually not disparaging people who do. But what I'm saying is the question is very much posed as encountering someone that you're not expecting to find there. You are much better off finding wildlife in nature than you are finding random human beings. Why are we in the woods? There's no man who's in the woods randomly for a good reason. So I also would choose the bear because at the very least, that's just, I don't know, maybe it's my time. And I feel like if I leave the bear alone, maybe I'm just delusional. I feel like if I leave the bear alone, the bear would leave me alone. But not even a man should want to encounter a random man in the woods. Come on, y'all. You got to use your... No. Someone said people walk in the woods. That's true. But I personally always interpret it as like a surprise appearance where you're not expecting to like find someone there. That's how I feel. Someone's probably disposing of a body. Yeah, no, like, why are you in the woods? And you know what's really funny though? I literally run in the woods. Though. I do. I run in like a wooded park area. So people have actually encountered me in the woods as well. And you know what? I don't blame them. I don't blame them for being like, oh no, this is scary. That's okay. I run when it's dark. Someone said, I feel like men are way too cavalier about their own safety. You're about to get this confirmed. I run when it's dark all the time. Mostly because like so few people are out there and it's kind of just a privilege if I'm being honest. And I'm not really worried about my own safety or anything like that. But anybody who is afraid of me when I'm running before the sun comes up, I actually think they're valid. Because honestly, why is a 6 foot tall man just in the dark doing this? What is he doing? What are his intentions? Now, I myself would be scared if I saw me in the woods. I'd be like, oh God, let me get out of it. It's too early for this, broski. You can't, I know you're a bad person. But yeah, that's how I feel. Someone said, I don't even get the mail at night, dude. Yeah, I don't blame anybody for not being out in the dark. Especially, I guess, not women for not being out in the dark. But I'd be hella... I'm talking like, not the sun is kind of coming up. It literally just looks like night. It looks like night. Somebody said 6'2". No, I'm just 6 foot flat. Okay. So yes, I am 6 feet tall. But you can't really like see me, so I can't prove it on a live stream. I mean, I think you can see I am kind of a tall dude. But here, let me ask you this. If I was to just take this tape measure and stretch it out for like a wingspan, and then show you where we arrive, which would be you can't see that because it's getting green screened out. But yeah, that's 6 feet this way and 6 feet this way. I'm tall enough, honestly. Someone said you got frozen, and the first thing he says is I'm 6 feet tall. What do you mean I got frozen? What? Did the stream literally like start glitching out on me? There's no way that the stream was There's no way that the stream was glitching when I was just trying to prove my own height here. This is so funny. Someone said, wow, you are tall. Yeah, no. Your wingspan is your height. Mine is. You're proportionate too. Yeah, I really, really am. Okay, yeah, everybody saw it. Yay. Yay. Someone said, scroll back, you froze. I believe you. I'll take your word for it. Someone said, I always imagined Denzel was shorter than average. No, man. I'm tall. Towering over here. I mean, I also don't really think 6 feet is that tall. Also, one thing that's real, someone said the stream stopped. That's so weird. What? That's so weird. One thing that's really funny though, being actually 6 feet tall, and I've said this before, is that like you can check people who are actually or who say that they're 6 feet tall. Because like you're sitting down, everyone's having fun and stuff, and then it's time to stand up, and you know this person's height apparently, allegedly, and you stand up, and it's like, and you're just completely like, oh, are you? No, I've never actually ever said it out loud, but I've definitely stood next to some people whose heights are public info, and I was like, oh, that public info is incorrect. That's not correct info about you online, is it? Because that's not, I don't feel like we're seeing eye to eye, if you get my drift. Someone says 6 feet isn't that tall, size I'm 5'1". Sorry. Yeah, okay, 6 feet is tall. Okay, I am taller than your average person. I think the thing is you can just get a lot taller than me personally. Also, like, it sounds like some of y'all have never seen my VidCon picture, which I don't think I would be able to easily find. Hold on, wait. I got to show you this picture of me low-key being taller than almost everybody in commentary. D'Angelo Wallace VidCon. I know I posted a picture of this somewhere on the internet. Oh, maybe it's on my community tab. Hold on, wait. I'm trying here, chat. Let's see. I'll just go to my own channel, youtube.com/@D-ANGELO period. Okay, great. We are live right now. I know that's right. Let me go to my posts. Okay, that's me. That's this. Oh, no, I deleted it. No. Wait, hold on. It might be on my other channel. This is the problem of having like literally 3 or 4 YouTube channels. Okay, hold on. Posts. Okay, I found it. Okay, I went to VidCon. And oh, I can't make the image bigger. Okay, there we go. So this is me, Gabby Bell, Swell Entertainment, Jarvis, Chad, Funky Frog Bait, a lot of people, right? You've got Eddie over there. And yeah, I'm one of the tall commentary creators. As you can see, I'm leaned in because I didn't know what the actual framing on this photo was supposed to be. That's me over here. But yeah, no, if you meet me in real life, you're going to be like, dog, what? You're going to be like, huh? That's not what I thought when I watched your videos at all. Oh my gosh. And someone said Gabby is so tiny. Yeah, Gabby Bell is not very tall, but definitely makes good videos. Why did I say but as if that was like a contrary thing? Oh my gosh. Someone said long as hell. Yeah, I'm a very long person. That's how I feel more so than tall at 6 feet. I just feel more so like I'm just long. I'm quite Reed-like, honestly, and it's genuinely hilarious. It's hilarious. Anyways. Someone said you're only a few inches tall on my screen. True. Someone said I'm 4'10" and I think I'm entitled to bully tall men. I agree with you. One of my friends is barely over 5 feet tall, and they frequently say that tall people owe them their kneecaps. They're like, give me your kneecaps. you don't need those. You're like 6'3". So hand those over and I will install a second set and then we can even out this discrepancy. And like the longer I heard this rhetoric, I was like, no, I think I agree with you because that would be equity. I believe in diversity, equity, and inclusion. So tall people should just hand their kneecaps over to short people so we can call it a day. Anyways, someone said you're like model tall. Well, yes, I am. I am quite model-esque, which is fun. You know what really sucks? Loving like fashion as a concept, but actually genuinely hating every single bit of it as an industry. I know for sure fashion is also something that you can make yourself. You know what I mean? There's many ways of doing it. It doesn't automatically mean supporting designer fashion houses, but I actually do find myself very fashion minded and like, oh yeah, runways, that's cool. But it's not cool at all because I really actually despise the ethics. I despise the ethics of all of these companies. I don't want to be in any way associated with LVMH, right? Anybody under there is not, no. And then like just the consumerism of it all and the seasons rollout of there always having to be something new. Oh, he's wearing 2022, she's wearing, and then just like pulling out like old, dude, it's such a painful hobby to have because I just don't buy from these places. I don't support them, but they hire talented people. So I do like look and I'm like, oh wow, that's really beautiful and creative. Too bad everything about you is bad. And you're also reinforcing horrible image issues for everybody that also affect me too. So it's very painful. It's very painful. Someone says started crocheting my own clothes. It's been a game changer. That's fire though. That's really fire. Someone said the ethics are horrible, but I just love to consume art. That's how I feel. Listen, I bring them up probably once every 2 or 3 streams. Someone said that's insane. I was just talking to a friend about this very same thing. Yeah, no. I bring them up so often. Dude, the best thing that I could do from a moral standpoint would actually to just be to never support this company ever again. They have demonstrated they will never, ever commit themselves to any sort of proper ethics towards their consumers, towards anybody. They're a horrible company. Actually, really like bully vibes from Nintendo. I will never ever support them or the things that they do from a consumer standpoint or a copyright standpoint or the way that they treat. Nintendo's not okay and should never be excused. And also Nintendo fans who excuse Nintendo because you love Pokemon need to stop. You're making this worse. But I am probably going to buy every console and game for as long as I live. I hate that, actually. I really, 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 really do. I think that's not a good thing. And I need to do better. I need to be like, money is the only little bit of a tool I have to let Nintendo know how I feel about your practices. But then it's like, oh, Animal Crossing. And I'm like, oh my God, Animal Crossing. Why? It's not cool. It's not a cool thing. I'm very much like a shameful Nintendo stan, a shameful Nintendo consumer. But I'm not a liar, though. I'm not a liar. Someone said just buy secondhand. You could. You also have to be careful, though, because, like, so many scalpers. There's a lot of scalpers who are the ones selling things secondhand. But yeah, you can find things used at reasonable prices that are not contributing to Nintendo's bottom line. But it's like, man, it's so bad. Someone said my only Nintendo weakness is Animal Crossing. They be getting me on those like platformers and their art style as well, which I just really love. Also, like, no, it's so bad. It's so bad. Someone said no one's perfect. Dude. It's so bad. That's also why, even though I do go pretty hard against all of these things, I never actually want to give the impression that I am the one correct and good person that, you know, has the right stance on everything. And I'm like super like, no, I try. And sometimes I choose wrong. And Nintendo is a great example of that. I should stop. Lord save me. Someone said I miss Legend of Zelda. Oh my god, yeah, that's such a great series. But like, yo ho, insert like a pirate song right here. You can still play Zelda without giving Nintendo a dollar. Actually, it's easier now than it ever has been, I feel, with the advent of the internet. You can easily be just as big of a Nintendo fan as I am without paying anything to Nintendo specifically. So never forget that. Somebody said, I just got out of class. What did I miss? Oh, I'm advocating for piracy because I think it's a good thing. Well, in this specific case, actually, I think piracy is a good thing in many cases. But Nintendo probably is like number one. Somebody said, what did Nintendo do? What did they do? Chat, where do I start? I mean, I immediately think about their like insanely aggressive copyright / trademark policies. I think about their sort of switch to you not really, how do I word it? They just have a lot of anti-consumer practices, none of which are a good thing. Nintendo Switch Online, I feel like, is not a good thing. Someone said, what didn't they do? Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Like, that's maybe a better example. And then there's also a bunch of like smaller ones that I'm not thinking of off the top of my head, man. Also, they do a lot of these things and sometimes their products aren't even good. That's one of the biggest issues with Nintendo. As much as I think these games are good, they talk big talk. And then a lot of times the product itself is like, oh, nah, y'all can't be acting like this over that. Y'all can't be acting like this over that. Someone said, D'Angelo, did you ever use Flipnote? Hatsuna on the DSi? I used Flipnote on the DS all the time for sure. Maybe I had a DS Lite. Someone said switch to indie. True, you can essentially find a 1-1 analog for any Nintendo game. Like, some small dev team will make a version of that is probably better in some way. But listen. I started off here, like many people born when I was born, which was 1998, with the Game Boy Advance. It came out in 2001. No, it came out in Japan in 2001. Okay, I don't know where it came out here, where I am. Oh, North America, 2001. Yes. First console or system I ever had. Now, that being said, I actually had a Game Boy Advance SP. Yeah, it was flippy. And that's why I liked mine. Mine was obviously black, because I've never changed in any meaningful way since I was 4 when these came out. And actually, I'm kind of surprised that I got one pretty much as soon as it came out, but it wasn't really that expensive. Well, I was also 4 and I didn't understand the concept of money, but I think consoles have definitely gotten more expensive than they used to be. Handhelds, whatever you want to call them. So yeah, and then from there, I wanted a DS, but I didn't get one immediately. But what I did get was the DS Lite. That was super hot fire. This is the exact one I had. This one right here. I had a Crimson Nintendo DS with the shiny gloss cover and the stylus, and I became a stylus fan after that. For the next like 10 years, I wanted a stylus on every single product I have. That is why when Samsung started doing their S Note series of phones and tablets, I was a big adopter of that. And by adopter, I mean begging my parents of like, can I please have a Samsung Galaxy tablet? And my answer was actually yes. What I would do is I would combine gifts, essentially, because I couldn't justify having new technology at the rate that it came out. So sometimes I would be like, oh, for Christmas, I don't really want anything at all. Or you could just get me something cheap like a game, and I would wait. And then I would be like, okay, I haven't actually asked for anything substantial in a couple years now. Maybe now's a good time to try to get a Samsung Galaxy tablet, and it would work for me. So that's essentially the only way I was able to get technology as a kid, was by stockpiling goodwill, by asking for cheap gifts on purpose. And I didn't have that phone. I had a really old, bulky Samsung Note with like a horrible, oh, it's this one right here. It's this one. This is how mine, I think, maybe it looked more like this. Yeah, no, it was a time. Someone said I do that too. Yeah, no, I really did that as a kid. I would literally take stock and be like, okay, I didn't get anything for my birthday. Oh, my siblings, they each got like 4 or 5 things last year, but I made sure I only got one. And then finally, when you build up this deficit, essentially, and you're asking for a tablet that does cost a couple $100, but you know you haven't actually gotten anything decent for Christmas in years, what are your parents gonna say? No? You got to do what you got to do, essentially. I'm like, they just take some of that money that you would have used and didn't, because I pretended like I didn't want anything, and use it now. It's hilarious, honestly. It's hilarious. Anyways, someone said when smartphones came out, man, stuff was crazy. Droid. That was the craziest thing ever. The slide up droids, slide out droids with the slide out keyboards. Yeah, buddy. Oh, yeah, I'm about to steal this person's whole video. Sorry, I'm muting you. But thank you, Endpoint 101 Tech, for this footage. This was actually genuinely life-changing. My life changed. I didn't have one of these, by the way. So my life wasn't personally changed. But the existence of a device like this, oh, wow. I'm so sad. First of all, like, I don't even really like physical keyboards on phones because I have big, dumb fingers. I have dumb fingers, but however, I really think that phones have gotten less cool than they used to be. I also get really mad at the fact that phones don't have any buttons at all. Who told you the only thing that you need is a volume rocker and a power button / fingerprint reader? You're wrong. That's incorrect. Look at this phone. I'm going to turn chat off so you can see. Look at this. That's the return button. That's the menu button. That's the home button. That's the search button. Okay, you might not need a search button if we're being honest. Bring back Android buttons. They used to literally be physical. They were actually physical buttons that were on a phone, and they were necessary and they were good. Nowadays, my phone doesn't have buttons at all. It just has a little like bar at the bottom that you can use for multiple gestures, like swiping up to access all of your apps or holding it to bring up Google or whatever. But I would prefer the buttons. I think they were just better, honestly. But yeah, this was definitely a revolution for a certain kind of person called me. I was so, oh wow, what is that? See, that's a normal phone. Dude, we fell off. We absolutely. Oh, also, it's so small. I just realized old Androids were so small compared to the way that they are now. iPhones were also really small. Why are phones the size of an HD television? Granted, I say that, and my phone is this large. But that doesn't change the fact that it's unnecessary. It's ridiculous. It's not needed. It's purely not needed. And I despise the size trend of phones just getting bigger year over year. At some point, you are really not going to be able to put them in your pocket. I think actually I've encountered pockets that phones have been difficult to put in. Someone said they don't fit in my pocket anymore. Yeah, no, for real. For real. Also, if we go back to that picture of me at VidCon, where even was that picture? I want to rant about pockets for a second because I'm being so for real right now. So I don't actually care about whether things are labeled as like men or women's fashion. I could not personally think of a less important indicator on a piece of clothing. So these are technically like women's pants, which I have a lot of in my closet. What is wrong with people who make women's pants and pockets? Why are there so many fake pockets on pants for women? Actually, that pisses me off more than anything. You hate pockets so much, but you still want to have a pocket aesthetic. A lot of times the pockets are flimsy. You can't actually fit anything. When I wear just my typical pants, I can fit my phone in there, my wallet, I could fit actually really large things in a man's pants pocket, but there's something specifically about women's pants pockets that I find to be so rage inducing. It makes me so mad. Somebody said for the purses company. I mean, honestly, someone said they want us to buy bags. No, that actually does make sense. It genuinely makes sense. And a lot of times I do have to bring a bag because I literally cannot bring my belongings with me if I'm not wearing the right kinds of pants. It's so bad. Someone said I transitioned for better pockets. Honestly, valid reason. Valid crash out. You're like, you know what? If these are men's pockets, call me a man. Oh no, it's a mess, man. It's a mess. Someone said that's why I started wearing cargo pants. I do wear a lot of cargo pants for real because, well, first of all, they're just great in general. But yeah, no, well, that's way too big of a zoom. I cannot, man. I really can't. Someone said who approved fake pockets? They're just there specifically to piss people off. People is me. Someone said that's why women get so excited about dresses with pockets. They're amazing. It's like I feel like in my own small way I understand. It's not even just amazing. It's literally like it's almost revolutionary. It's like, whoa, these pants actually have pockets. This dress really has pockets. That's wild, man. Also, speaking of pants or pockets or skirts or whatever, I have this one picture that I'm probably literally never going to be able to find. It's this outfit that I put together a long time ago and never posted because actually I hate Instagram. Wait, hold on. Okay, maybe I might have to find it for the next stream. I might have to find it for the next stream, but I put together this like thrifted, some semi-thrifted like art teacher / museum curator vibe that I thought came across super well. And then I forgot to post the picture. And I was like, wait, but I still deserve hype over this outfit. Hold on, I'm scrolling through my gallery right now. Maybe I'll be able to find it. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Okay, never mind. Sorry, chat. I just got you all hyped for literally no reason. Oh, never mind. I found it. Okay. I'm gonna share it. To my OneDrive, I guess. I have no idea how else. I don't know how to share things from one file to another, which is funny, or from one computer to another, because that's pretty much like the basis of the majority of my time online is trying to get videos off of one computer and onto another computer. Also, my phone is literally on 4%, so we better move quick, buddy, or things are not going to go well for us. Okay, I screenshotted that. Now I'm going to put that in my OneDrive. Somebody joins the chat right now. They're like, literally, what is he doing? Don't worry. The same thing he's always doing, which is not knowing how to use technology. Okay, let's see if that actually wound up in my OneDrive. Oh, I thought they logged me out. I was gonna mauled, honestly. Oh, here we go. Okay. I think I understood the assignment. I put this one together and I'm like, no, it's a vibe. Now, I know some of you might say, hold on, you literally just put 3 different patterns and you're trying to convince us that you knew what you were doing. I did it on purpose. Okay. I understand what I was going for here. I was trying to project. Okay. This is the end goal. Honestly, I'm always clashing. If you're wondering, like, why does he sit in front of his background when he doesn't match? Because I personally, clash is like the only bit of aesthetic that I actually understand on an intuitive level. You feel me? You can't actually just start mixing and matching whatever you want. There's an art form to wearing things that don't look good together and still looking good while you do it. So I would like to pat myself on the back for that one. Someone said floral is floral. Exactly. Floral is floral. And it's fun. But yeah, I saw that in my gallery and I was like, wait, you ate with that. Why did you never post this? So there you go. You've got it. I'm still never posting it because Instagram makes me tired. I get sleepy. I want to take a nap forever. Someone said you look like you're about to buy up an art gallery. That's the wool for sure. Someone said they're cohesive. See, you understand. They have a similar base and the palettes are in the same color space, or at least that's how I felt putting those all together. Someone said Harry Styles was, I shouldn't read that out loud. No, I'll finish reading it because now I'm being a fence sitter. Now I'm being a centrist. Someone said Harry Styles wishes he could do that. I'm not comparing myself to Harry Styles because that is literally how you set yourself up for failure. If you like compare yourself to a celebrity, then fans of that celebrity will essentially just pull any time that you've ever looked bad and put it next to every single Harry Styles look that was good and then just make you look like an idiot. So I'm not actually saying I'm better or worse than good old Henry Styles, but like I do love a bit of thought. That's all. Does that make sense? I do love a bit of thought. It just some like cohesion goes a long way. I'm not trying to box him back into a box. That's all I'm saying. Someone said Harry Styles has stylist. Harry's stylist. Wish they could. Well, I mean, it's definitely an intention. Or it's intentional. Like he has his own look that he's going for sure. But yeah, I actually like drop the pretense, and I'm pretty sure I've said this before. I still want to serve and I still want to eat. I'm sorry. Just because you're a man and you're putting on clothes that are not labeled as men's clothing doesn't mean that you're eating. It doesn't. And everybody online is going to hype you up and they're going to start crying. They're actually going to start crying because you're wearing better clothes than what you could be wearing. That doesn't mean you ate. I think there's such a big difference between wearing gender non-conforming clothes and serving. And serving is an attitude, okay? So I'm sorry. You know what? I'm sorry. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. It doesn't always mean that you ate. And I say that as a gender non-conforming, non-binary person, frequently wearing things like, maybe I am a little on my soapbox with this one. I don't think I do think I always eat though. Actually, I really, really, really do. But you know what? I said what I said. And I'm going to stop saying it. That's all I've got. That being said, I still feel like Harry Styles is like fine. not a bad person, not somebody who I have any sort of criticism for, or I think he's doing anything bad whatsoever. Definitely not the case. Anyways. It's so tricky. Someone said Bad Bunny fine. No. See, that's an example of like, I think he eats personally. You feel me? When it's I hope that that's clear. I'm not even, someone said, what are your pronouns? He, him. Thank you. I'm non-binary and a man. Bad Bunny, to my knowledge, doesn't, I don't know how he identifies or doesn't identify. You don't even have to be a specific kind of anything. But I will say, anytime I've seen Bad Bunny, I was like, oh, he ate down, actually. He's typically like eating. You get some real camp from Bad Bunny. So it's okay to be like, I don't know, a manly man and wear clothes that people don't expect you to wear or whatever. That's not what I'm knocking at all. That's not my main issue. I'm more so just like, you gotta know when you're really giving what's supposed to be gave, in my opinion. Now, again, I know I'm saying that like after showing you what is potentially not even a good outfit, but that's just my opinion. Someone said I speed ran the pronoun question. I do. I'll be like, oh, it's he, him. Thank you. I'm non-binary, but I'm a man as well. I practiced that because I realized I was going to get asked that one a lot. Before I came back to the internet, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to start telling people I'm non-binary, but they're probably going to be asking about my pronouns a lot. Let me just practice an answer. He, him. Thank you. I'm non-binary and a man. Someone say he's cute/cutest. Yeah. Because I feel like a lot of y'all, I'm not calling you out, I'm just saying, a lot of y'all aren't even used to this yet. It's not uncommon at all to be non-binary, not change your pronouns. But I was like, y'all don't even have representation for this. So let me try to be representation for my own, what I want to do personally. I do love they, them pronouns for sure. And I love using them for other people when that's their pronouns. But I was like, no, I think a lot of people are going to have to ask about this one. But there ain't nothing wrong with asking. And I appreciate you not wanting to misgender me. Someone said it's nuanced. You can be both. You really can. And I really am. I truly am. Someone said Alexander Skarsgård has fun with it. I have seen some really fun pictures of him doing fashion things for sure. Someone said I'm your representation. Yes, I am. I be your representation or not. I'm also just a dude. So if I ever do anything bad, kick me to the curb. It's okay. It's okay. Someone said I'm non-binary trans mask and you see him, so it makes sense to me. So you get it. You get it. You could use whatever pronouns you want. Because actually, the funny thing is they literally have nothing to do with ideas of what your gender identity should be. It's actually completely up to you and what gives you like gender dysphoria or no, what does not give you dysphoria or gives you euphoria, or in my case, I feel ultimate neutrality about pronouns. So yeah, me realizing that, I was like, yeah, this is fire. Someone said Blade mention in chat. I'm going crazy. I like Blade. Blade's music is really fun. I like the song Sad Meal. That one's really funny. I will say Blade has like too many songs for me to actually get into. So I'm not like actually Drain Gang level of being caught up with all of these people, but I've definitely heard my fair share of Blade music and been like, this is fire. Yeah, put that on for real, for real. Someone said people who are binary can use they. Oh, that's a great point though. Hold on though. Someone said people who are binary can also use they them if they wanted to. You really can. It's up to you. So like it's very much up to you. It's not my job to question you, and I don't question people at all. Someone said I'm Swedish and I still have no idea who Blade is. I mean, to be fair, he's pretty niche. For those of you who don't know, Blade is a rapper and makes music that I don't think most people would enjoy because it's confusing upon initial listen unless you're like rocking with the vibe. And that's what happened when I was younger listening to his music. I was like, yeah, I'm rocking with the vibe for sure. Someone said I thought it was Blady. I mean, a lot of people do say Blady. Like, let's talk about that. There are a few artists who constantly get their names mispronounced, even though I feel like Blade himself might have even said Blady at sometimes. But Blade, because he has two E's in Blade, frequently gets called Blady. Another one would be Black. There are a lot of people who call this artist Six Lack, which I understand, because if you just were to read it phonetically, it says Six Lack, but actually his name is Black, which I think is really funny. But then like, oh, someone said Baby No Money. Yeah, no, that's another one too. I feel like I've definitely seen people struggle over how to say Baby No Money, because again, it just kind of looks like BB Nos, which would be a really funny name actually, but no, it's Baby No Money. Someone said BB Nos. Listen, BB Nos is a funny name. So actually, I feel like this is a great stage name because even if people pronounce it phonetically, you still have a fun name. And that's really all that matters. Someone said Infant No Dollar. Black mentioned. Yeah, no, Black is fire, for real, for real. Someone said, I think the way Joe is pronounced is a little dumb. Joe is Joe, right? Oh, Sade? Dude. Sade gets mispronounced so bad. And I'm like, nah, no. You got to put some respect on this band's name. And you got to put some respect on Sade's name because the band name is also her name. Also, oh, Leve? Yeah, Leve gets mispronounced to hell as well. Dude, Sade's music is so good. Okay, Sade's music, it's illegal. It is actually illegal for a song to be as good as just a good old classic Sade song. There's something about her voice. There's something about that band. Like, I'm like, maybe music was better. And then I'm like, no, just kidding. Multiple things can be true. But I will tell you right now, they don't make music like this anymore. They don't. There's a lot of people doing a lot of real. Oh, I realize the chat is still off. There's a lot of people doing a lot of really amazing things, but when it comes to Sade's music, I'm like, let's really, really, really go. Also, one thing that I think personally is cool about Sade is that the person was, I mean, she's been famous since, dude, how long? Hold on, wait, I need to get this Wikipedia. I need to get this Wikipedia info. That way I don't get this wrong. Okay, so Sade, Nigerian-born British singer, songwriter Sade, has been essentially popular since like the 80s, active since the 80s. But I randomly saw her pop up on what I believe was a let me find it. It was very recently. News. Oh, I was like, oh, whoa, that's the wrong button. I'm in the void. I was like, Sade's first new song in 6 years included in sprawling trans benefit album supporting transgender awareness. And I was like, wait, what? Sade randomly coming back out of the blue to say trans rights actually based. So that was really cool. But yeah, no, you should definitely spin up one of her greatest hits compilations, even though all of their music is low-key great. All of their music is low-key great. It's so fantastic. Somebody said what? Yeah, no, I saw that and I was like, yo, that's fire. That's so random of her to do this, but I'm so glad that she did. That's nice to know how you feel about this or what you believe. It was pretty dope. Someone said, isn't her son trans? I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. I'm not super like caught up on her family members. I'm really bad with celebrities' family members and knowing who is actually related to whom. But yes, I believe that that's correct. Oh yeah, it's a tribute to her son for sure. Fire. Anyways, it's also just a nice reminder that like you could be 60 something and not transphobic. Yay, that's great. I appreciate that. You don't have to actually disown your children or make their life difficult or terrible. So that's a nice reminder, and that's also why I'm not nice to older people who don't get it anymore. I think I used to be kind of like, oh well, yeah, this is different and this is, but then I hit a point and I'm like, no, I'm sorry, if this person gets it and that person gets it and this person gets it and that person gets it, you're gonna have to pick up the pace or I'm gonna start saying some things that are gonna make you hate me. Someone said, has the bar gone that low? They're gonna say that this is ageist, but for people who are 67 years old, yes, I believe the bar is that low. They're gonna say, "Oh, he's ageist for that one." No, I'm correct. Honestly, you're a boomer. I think that's a boomer, right? Boomer age range. Yeah. If you're an actual boomer, I think the bar is literally that low. Just basic respect for all people is all I'm really looking for at this point. And I don't always find it. So someone said trans people been here. Yeah, I mean, people, let's not get into it. Because you're correct. So much of, he says, let's not get into it before getting into it. Someone says, sorry, I just joined. I have no idea what we're talking about. Well, I was going to say so much transphobia is rooted in trying to make what has existed as long as people have existed sound crazy, and it pisses me off. It really pisses me off. Someone said nothing ageist about holding people accountable. You're right. You know what, just straight up, I hold boomers accountable. If you are 60 whatever, educate yourself, but it's your responsibility to do that, period. I'm not going to assume that you're a bad person because of your age, but you definitely need to unlearn stuff. Okay, I had to unlearn stuff too. Someone said there's a trans K-pop idol now. Is there? Or are you talking about well, I don't, hold on, sorry. I struggle with like knowing who is signed to whomst. But are you referring to Kokona? We've talked about them before, I think. Kokona being part of XG, which is, are they a Japanese group? Sorry, don't laugh at me for not knowing things. Okay, yes, Kokona, Japanese rapper. I think that they're super cool. They're so, this happened last time where I searched for pictures of them and just got fruit instead. But yeah, no, I think this person's really dope. Someone said I like Willow, but why does she have to make that song with MGK? I pretend like that song doesn't exist. I really do. Someone said there's a trans K-pop group called like Girl or Woman or something. Oh, really? I didn't know about that one. Honestly, the more like visible. Someone said they're Japanese, but they work in the K-pop industry. That makes sense. The more visible people that we have, there's a trans woman K-pop idol. I'll have to Google that person. The happier I get. I get happier because I'm just like, this is awesome. I'm like, this is coming in so many different like forms and places that you haven't traditionally seen it commonly, and I'm like, this is so great. I think a normalization of any sort of like, whether you're non-binary or trans or this, that, the other, like, yeah, I get excited. I get excited. Someone said X love. I hope I said that correctly because I don't really know how one would pronounce that. Okay, so this group right here you're saying is also like what's this group's concept? Explain it to me right now. Somebody who doesn't know anything about X Love, I'm gonna learn about them live right now because I don't think I've heard of this group. Someone said look at X Love. Okay, I'm educating myself. South Korean musical group. Okay, we love some K-pop over here. So they are Public Image, a genderless concept. Oh, I see. So they are neither a boy group nor a girl group. They're just a group. Is that what you're saying? Right here, essentially? It's just a K-pop group that is not a boy group or a girl group. I've never seen that before. That's really interesting. I think that is kind of neat because K-pop is so like deeply separated along like gender lines. So to even have a group that is like, nah, we're just a group. We're a genderless group making music with whatever concept we want to do. That's actually quite revolutionary. That's wild, man. Someone said they use any pronouns. That's super, super dope. Yeah, I literally never would have seen anything like this when I was younger. Ever. Which is also why someone said band, or is it a band if they do instruments? Band, group, I don't care. That's also why I didn't know what I was. That's also why I didn't know what I was for so long. Someone said look at the outfits. Okay, I don't know. X Love, best fits. So these better be fire. Oh wait, they kind of are fire. Hold on. Oh wait, you can't see them. Hold on. I need this one bigger because I would actually dress this way. I was gonna clown the hell out of you if these were bad outfits. Oh, I can't get this in a higher resolution. But if this is the group you're talking about, I would pretty much wear all four of these outfits. I would pretty much wear all four of these out. I mean, I feel like I'm in a variation of this fit right now. So there you have it. Someone said Card is good too. I think I remember Card from a long time ago. Or maybe it wasn't that long ago. Time isn't real. Someone said I'll add them to my to listen list. Yeah, I'll check them out for sure. I feel like K-pop in general. I realized I just stun-locked myself because I started trying to say two very diverging things at the same time. I was gonna say K-pop pisses me off, and then I was also going to say people who don't like K-pop piss me off, and both of those things are true. We've been on some multiple things can be true. Juice over here, we've really been on that timing lately. I get very pissed off by a lot of things that happen in K-pop, and probably will continue to do so forever. But I also get pissed off by the way that K-pop is talked about by people who also don't like it. It's like brother. Someone said, D'Angelo, have you updated your Spotify list? I really enjoyed your last one. Actually, I don't want to publicly align myself with Spotify anymore. And I'm really glad that you enjoyed my last list. But if I make another playlist for you all, I am likely going to do it on YouTube Music. And then if you use Spotify, you can go and add the songs yourself. But honestly, ever since their Spotify investor military tech, I was like, oh, nah. Spotify's Daniel Ek leads $600 million investment in AI military defense company. And I was like, oh, what? And because of this, a lot of people who were on Spotify, like actual bands like Deer Hunter, I believe, and a few other acts were like, brother, we don't want our music on this platform where the owner is taking the millions and millions of dollars that he's getting from our work being streamed and investing it in AI military tech. And I was like, that's not a good thing. Somebody says, does Google not do that too? I mean, honestly, they probably do. But the way that I see it is if I don't have to use Google and Spotify, then I cannot use the one, essentially. There's definitely no ethical tech company because they're companies. But yeah, no, I was just like, wow, this is really souring me on Spotify as well. And I liked the bands that were leaving. Someone said they run ICE ads. They do. They did at one point. I don't know if they still do, but yeah, Spotify was letting ICE run ads and stuff like that. But yeah, I saw articles about acts like Deer Hunter leaving and a bunch of other ones. I'm trying to think who else left. I don't remember. I feel like there was one that I actually did listen to that maybe left. Let me see. Oh, they did. Yeah. Okay. Juju removed their stuff from Spotify as well. Juju on leaving Spotify. Oop, okay, sure. And why their music won't murder people for money. And I was like, I rock with this. Do what is right to you. So yeah, you're probably not going to see me saying, oh, here, go listen to this on Spotify. I'll just keep you right here where you already are. Someone said Deezer's another option. YouTube Music is neither better nor worse. Yeah, essentially what I tell myself is that I'm just already on YouTube. So what can you do? You know what I mean? I can't necessarily disconnect myself from this platform that I am on right now. So what can I do? Someone said Soulseek. Oh, if Soulseek left too, then I support them as well. Someone says Juju Speak. They are though, honestly. Some of their songs are just so good. I love me some electronic experimental music. Is fire. It's fire. Someone said you save so much money by not having Spotify too. Yeah, Spotify is expensive actually. Spotify is really expensive for real. Someone said pronounce Shushu. Oh, thank you, because I don't want to mispronounce their name. Shushu. Yeah, I love me some weird music. It's funny though, because if you listen to some of the things, the acts that I've mentioned, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna go listen to Shushu, and then you put on their music and you're like, brother, what is this? What is this? This is not good. Or you hear me talking about Blade earlier and you're like, oh, I'm gonna go put on some Blade because D'Angelo said he listens to Blade, and then you go put that on and you're like, brother, what is this? Someone said, do you listen to Machine Girl? I've definitely heard Machine Girl music. It's great. You know what the greatest album I listened to recently was? I don't think I can share the cover because it contains an artistic depiction of nudity. Oh no, scary. I recently listened to Jill Scott's new album and I was like, this is so peak. Listen to me. R&B soul icon Jill Scott saw fit to unleash another album upon the world. And I went into this knowing that it was going to be good music. I did. I knew from jump. I was like, she is physically incapable of making bad music. Dude, it was so good. I literally just had to like sit down. I actually sat down. I put on the music and I thought I was going to be doing other things. I was like, yeah, this is going to be great background music. No, I was like, let me just put down what I'm doing, sit down and listen to this album front to back. It was the first time I had actively listened to an album front to back without doing anything else in a very long time. A very, very, very long time. But yeah, no, so much crazy instrumentation, amazing lyricism. Obviously, Jill Scott's voice is going to be peak, so that wasn't ever even a question. But like, God, some people are just too good. Someone said, I've been listening to the math on repeat. Let's go. Somebody said, why can't I super chat? Because I have that disabled. But next time you feel the urge to do so, support a smaller creator or donate it. Someone said, I've been listening to it every night before sleeping. It's so good. Man, it's so good. I'm like, there's no way that music could even be this good. To Whom This May Concern is the album title. Yeah. And also, I like the cover. Of that album. I just can't show it because it has an artistic depiction of breasts on it. scary. My whole channel will get in trouble for just showing a singular album cover that is a painting. I honestly hate the way that people are about nudity so much, because I'm just like, there is such a difference between nudity and sexual nudity, but whatever. Someone said, do you listen to Pink Panthers? Oh yeah, for sure. Is this illegal? This feels illegal. I think that Pink Panthers' recent release of Fancy That, she peaked. Positive. A lot of times when I say that people peak, it's a bad thing. I'm like, oh, you peaked forever ago. I think that Pink Panthers rewrote the definition of peak with Fancy That, and that Zara Larsson collab music video was so fire. Honestly, I just think she is great. She's an amazing producer, and I am a fan of her work unabashedly. We don't do guilty pleasures over here. I derive pleasure from the music. Someone said the community needs a music share situation. True. I'll think about that. Someone said her song with Zara Larsson. It's so fire, man. It's so fire. And someone said Ash Nico. I like a lot of Ash Nico's songs. I like her Halloweeny series. That one's really fun. And Daisy is a fun song as well. What other Ash Nico joints do I like? I don't know. Her recent album was really cool. Someone said I stopped using Spotify because of this. Now I use YouTube. Very much understandable. Someone said James Blake W. Bro, I'm a big fan of James Blake. Do you have a free video editor you recommend? I was using Clipchamp to edit my first YouTube video and it was awful. A free video editor. No. Sorry. Yes! You need to download DaVinci Resolve. I haven't used DaVinci in a while. Because I very much I pay for my tools and stuff. You don't even have to pay for DaVinci Resolve. You can download this for free. You are not going to believe how good of a program this actually is. This free download button right here, it's literally not there's no subscription, there's nothing to buy. It is 100% free software, feature rich. No, you're not going to have access to everything that DaVinci Resolve Studio has, but listen, any person who was like, I need a full featured editing software. I used to edit my videos on DaVinci, the free version. And I, unfortunately, I currently use Adobe Premiere Pro and Adobe Photoshop, and I use Adobe Acrobat for a lot of my contract stuff that we do for brands, and probably a bunch of other Adobe services, which is, I was literally free. I had freed myself. It's not easy to free yourself in this world. There are some things that are so difficult to do. When you're finally free from Adobe and you see the light, you see that there is life outside of Adobe as a creative individual, and you're like, oh my God, why was I ever supporting a company this bad? So for the longest time, I was using DaVinci Resolve proudly, free. I was editing videos that looked so good. But when I actually put effort into editing, and I just cut my videos for YouTube. I don't really edit them. I don't put things in there because this is my third channel. But when I actually edit the video, I will edit the hell out of a video on DaVinci Resolve for free. But unfortunately, I was running into performance issues and that I could not solve. And my computer, I could not figure out how to get DaVinci Resolve to play nice with my GPU. And I was also running into some weird glitch artifact things. I was running into some things with DaVinci that I could have theoretically figured out how to solve. But instead of doing that, I was like, well, you know what? I'm just going to pay money to Adobe. And I've been in Adobe jail again for the past couple of years, and it's very sad. It's very sad. I hate it. Someone said, do you use OBS to stream? Yes, I use OBS, not Streamlabs. I used to use Streamlabs when I streamed a few years ago, but OBS is such a good software. That's another free one where it's like, why would you, low-key, why would you ever pay? Why would you ever pay for streaming software when OBS is so good? Someone said, what camera do you use for streams? This might surprise some of you. Literally iPhone 12. I stream live to YouTube for hours at a time from an iPhone. An iPhone. This is how an old iPhone. They're on like what, 15 now? I don't even know what the latest iPhone is. Latest iPhone 17? Dear God, why? Okay, so yeah, I'm on an iPhone that is 5 generations out of date, streaming to you right now, and quality this high. Actually, not memeing. This is not a Sony camera. I don't have anything attached to the back of it. It is directly plugged into my Mac Studio, outputting information to you. I'm able to cut these videos online. I never get a single complaint about my videos because they look good. I never get any sort of glitching, or you can actually stream from a phone now. As long as you also have a computer to mitigate the footage and deal with that input. But yeah, I it's so peak. I literally cannot believe how good. I don't want to sound like I'm hyping up Apple, but I'm sorry, I can't believe how good iPhone 12 video looks. It's unbelievable to me. Someone said don't make more e-waste. Exactly. Listen. For as much as I'm a horrible person, I make business decisions that are bad for the environment, I do just try not to be a wasteful person. So instead of getting rid of my iPhone and being like, oh, I'm going to put this in a landfill because I don't need it anymore. Or you can also trade it in. But I was like, I'm going to see, like, this is still such a good device. And it might not do some of the more phone-like things that I needed to do, but I'm going to keep it. And yeah, we've been iPhone ready on this specific channel for a couple years now, which I think is so funny. Someone said Samsung cameras are really good too, especially the new Ultra one. True. But the thing is though, you do got to deal with the footage. Because let me show y'all something. When you stream just as is, it looks ugly. It looks ugly as hell. Hold on. I've done this before, but I want to show y'all. So if I turn off, for example, my filters. Okay. So this is what it looks like without my color grading. Ew. Kind of ugly. And then without my color correction. Oh, you get a really flat, kind of nasty picture with iPhone. However, I am a video professional. I have done video professionally my entire adult life. So I was like, I can work with that. We color correct to sort of make that a little more palatable, and we color match so that I fit a little better with my background. And I actually don't do any other correction to the footage. I think I'm pretty chill in terms of color correction. I'm not a big color corrector kind of guy. Some people go really wild with it, and I used to when I was younger, but I like a more natural look, even though I have purposely made everything about me look like I'm in an artificial pink cyberspace. But yeah, some say you look green. Well, I am, because I'm in front of this giant green screen. So you're getting what is called spill. Also, mitigating spill is really difficult. Also, what's really funny, mitigating spill when you're bald. Mitigating spill when you're bald is actually really hard. Do you know how much of a technological feat it is that my shiny head is not reflecting the green screen behind me? When I used to have hair on my head on purpose, I never had to worry about my green screen. I could just green screen it out, and because my hair was black and matte, there would never be any sort of spill. We would get spill because my hair was frizzy because I'm black, and I happen to have that hair texture. But like, because my head is now reflective, which I had never experienced, or at least had not experienced in like 20 years, I sat down that first day trying to make this look good for y'all. And I was like, why does the top of my head keep disappearing? Why does the top of my head keep disappearing? Am I going to have to actually wear a hat? Am I going to have to use, like, I was getting so pissed off. But I finally figured out how to mitigate. My spill on my shiny bald head, which essentially just involved for me being further away from the screen. A little bit of distance goes a long way when it comes to correcting spill. Someone said, why'd you get rid of the IRL background stuff? Oh, because the thing, I mean, there's so many reasons, honestly. First of all, I love my IRL set. It was beautiful. I put a lot of work into making it visually pleasing because I'm like, listen, just because this is really simple content does not mean I actually have to be going hard, going ham with like, or it doesn't mean I shouldn't go ham with the visual aspect of it. But y'all gotta realize, I'm like currently still popping online for 2 reasons. There's 2 reasons. The first reason, I hope, will be because I make good content. I hope that that's the reason that people watch me. God only really knows. But there's a second reason. You gotta switch it up. You can't let them get comfortable ever. You can never actually let your viewers get comfortable, because if I came back and I had the same set and the same hair and everything was like the same vibe, I think my videos would probably still be doing really well. But you always have to meet people where they're at, and I'm like, nah, I'm gonna get people interested just based off of like, who is this bald guy on my timeline now? Granted, I didn't shave my head for views. I did it 6 months before I came back because, as I've mentioned frequently, I was so hot. I was just really hot in North Carolina. But yeah, no, I was like, I'd be switching it up on purpose because just when people get comfortable, it's time to uproot everything. I think if I had kept my aesthetic the same for like an extended period of time, I would probably still have all of you that are with me right now in the chat, but like gaining new followers or like building or whatever, it's not easy to do when somebody gets the sense that they've stumbled into something that is really comfortable. People want to feel like things are being shaken up a little bit, and you yourself should be constantly shaking up your delivery and stuff like that to meet people where they're at, you know? Some say, how do you add the filters? Is it a thing in OBS? Yes, it is. And because I have live filters on me, including a really somewhat resource intensive green screen like this. Whoa, this is what's in real life. Oh, there we go. Much better. That's why I stream from 2 different computers. That's why I stream from 2 different computers. Because if I was streaming from if I was having all these effects and streaming, and then also on my computer trying to show you like, oh, look at my iPhone that I used to use, or you can download DaVinci for free, or like downloading things, I realized like I have so many effects going on with this stream. I need to, it's called separation of concerns. I should do that, honestly. So that's why I love changing my look so much. For real. But yeah, no, don't like, I think a lot of YouTubers are worried about like getting left behind. Like, you know, one thing I saw, I might not be remembering the same person, and if I'm randomly dragging someone, I'm very sorry. Maybe she didn't say this. But I feel like the beauty YouTuber Jacqueline Hill at one point was complaining about her views going down or something. I remember seeing this. Okay, yeah. I think I see references to Jacqueline Hill complain. As somebody who's been in the game for a little while, I could hook you up right now, Jacqueline. You need to stop giving whatever it was that you were giving when you got popular, period. The people have changed. I'm sorry. This is a very quickly changing landscape. It really is. Someone says she became unrelatable. Exactly. Jacqueline Hill, from my understanding, you could definitely correct me if I'm wrong, because I actually don't know. Like, I don't watch beauty content, but from my understanding, she is very like rich, obviously, and glamorous, and all of these things. And we talked about this when we talked about Michaela Nogueira, but like this sort of aspirational like content, it's not like performant anymore, because that's not really what people are looking for at all. So if you refresh if you can't hear me, refresh. Oh god, why does this always happen? Hold on, let me try to pull up my notepad. I need to just download like an actual notepad that I can do big text on. Okay. refresh the page. Yeah, I should say, if you can't hear me. Someone said I missed all of what you just said. Oh no. Okay, anyway, someone said recession indicator. I'll make it really short. Basically, as I've said before in my Michaela Nogueira video, any beauty YouTuber who is still doing any sort of aspirational lifestyle content involving being rich and consuming a lot of product and all these things, like, you finna get left behind. Someone said Microsoft has a notepad. They do, but I feel like the text is too small. Hold on, wait, can I just use notepad? Refresh the page. Can I like, oh, let's go. Okay, I did not know I could do big text in notepad. That is fire. Thank you. I think from now on, instead of going to wordcounttools.com, I'll just pull up notepad if I need to use it for notes. That's fire. Okay, that's great. That's great. Anyways, someone said, can't you make it bigger? I can't. I know that now. I had no clue you could do that in notepad. Genuinely. But yeah, also the same thing has happened in commentary. I think that commentary creators are fine-ish nowadays, but they definitely had to update things. Let me show you an example right now. I'm going to show you an example. I'm going to close this. In Curtis Connor's new video that I watched, because I was like, yeah, I have 45 minutes. The dude he's talking about is wild, man. The dude he's talking about is wild. Christian, bad version, trolling Fortnite to try to convert children to Christianity. Wild. And that's surprisingly not even the most out there part of Curtis's video. But one thing that I thought was interesting and pretty great was he was talking about, maybe the guy had said something that was like negative about Palestine or something like that, and Curtis had just said in no uncertain terms very clearly, like, this is a bad stance and you should not have any sort of like pro-genocide anything or excuse it or like, and I was just thinking to myself, commentary has really changed a lot for the better, in my opinion, because I'm telling you right now, you literally never would have gotten anything like this in a Curtis Connor video or my videos or any of the commentary videos that I was watching. I mean, I don't make the same kind of content as Curtis, but you get what I'm saying. And I think about like what Drew Gooden did as well. Someone said Curtis is deaf pro-Palestine. Yeah, he is. I'm not trying to say he ever wasn't, but I'm just saying like commentary has changed a lot too, and that it's a lot more vocal. It's a lot more like, I don't know how to describe it, but people want you to be way more upfront. Someone said commentary is so good right now. I think it's moving into a really good space. I really, really, really personally do. Similarly, like with Drew, yeah, I'd be hyping people up. I mentioned Drew a lot because Drew makes a lot of good videos, but like he's been on this. Oh, new Drew? Let's go. ESPN and the death of journalism. Oh, that's fire. Okay, great. I'm probably gonna watch that after the stream. But anyways, this makes it seem like I've only watched one Drew Gooden video, but that's because I'm on the wrong YouTube account. He again has like shifted his content into things that are a lot more topical into how people actually feel and stuff. And I just think it's really interesting. I will say, like, someone said Drew's getting slightly political, and I love it. No, for real. Like, you can't be doing the same thing that you've been doing. Or you can, but there's just more benefit to be had of looking for what people are actually looking for sure, for sure. Someone said, let's all watch Drew Gooden together. Yeah, let me go against everything that I actually believe about good content. And right now, I'm going to rip off Drew for 29 minutes of content. Thank you, Drew. The last 30 minutes of my stream. Hold on, sorry. I'm going to make fun of reaction YouTubers. I feel like making fun of content creators isn't nice, but I'm going to do it anyway because it's funny.
50 years now, ESPN has been a culture.
But you can't even hear him. Sorry, Drew. They're trying to silence him. This is not okay. I should put my headphones on. Okay, great. Maybe this will be better.
Cultural staple.
That's better. Okay, thank you, Drew. I love reaction content. Let's go. I've literally already done this gag before, but I do it every time.
For almost 50 years now, ESPN has been a cultural staple. What started as a shoestring operation in Bristol, Connecticut, quickly became a money printing machine throughout the 90s and 2000s. Of course, part of that was because before the internet, it was kind of the only place to see scores and highlights. You didn't really have a choice. But even still, it was a network that was filled with so many great personalities. People like Stuart Scott, who were just effortlessly cool and funny. They had this dry sense of humor that permeated in everything they made, and they really delivered on every part of the sports spectrum. Whether it was with legitimate, hard-hitting journalism on shows like Outside the Lines and E60, or a show like Cheap Seats, where the Sklar brothers would just riff over a bunch of weird-ass sporting events.
Oh, Mary, it's a shame you'll have to die now.
For a long time, ESPN had a captive audience. They could have gotten complacent, but instead they chose to be creative. They took risks. They elevated the experience of watching sports. But over the past decade, some cracks have started to form. I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that ESPN sold its soul. And I don't just mean because they're owned by Disney. If they do have any influence, it's hard to tell because they're very subtle about it.
Wait. What did I miss? What did I miss? Hold on. I'm going to start it over.
For almost 50 years now, ESPN
Sorry. I apologize. That was a joke. It went on for way too long. Like reaction content. Someone said you should have been gone for half an hour. I really should have. And listen, it's not really like my content is that much better when I'm literally still just reacting to things. DaVinci Resolve, iPhone, Jaclyn Hill, Drew Gooden, but like, no. It's a no for me, dog. Someone says start a comedy skit channel. Oh, but I have unpopular opinions about skits. Hold on. Oh, we should talk about SNL in a second. Sorry, I'm trying to chew. This pretzel is so dry. I will literally never get the pretzel out of my teeth. What was the gag? What was the cost of this gag? It wasn't worth it. Okay. Trying not to think about the pretzel that's now stuck in my teeth. I think I'm fine. Sorry. This is why I hate eating, actually, so much. I literally cannot think about anything else right now, but I'm gonna... Sorry. Hold on. I'm sorry. I'll be right back. Okay. We're gonna have to do better. Later. That's not good enough, but that's good enough for me to actually have my remaining mental faculties back. Sorry. Someone said this is me with popcorn. Yeah, no, why did I think that was a good idea? At least some people in chat laughed. I like a pretzel every now and then, but dear God. Anyways, what I was gonna say, I'm not gonna rehash. Someone said I should have put Drew on. I should have put Drew on. I'm not gonna rehash my same SNL opinion from my last stream. Don't worry. I know I already ranted about SNL. I'm not gonna do it again. What I'm gonna say is, in general, I would not start a skit, channel, shorts, whatever, because... Sorry. People who make skits don't know how long skits should go on. They don't know. I know I said it about SNL. It's almost everybody. Now, I don't mind a good skit in a commentary video. Usually. But standalone skits, like skit creators, I do often find them funny. I really do. But the same thing I would apply to SNL, I would apply to most skits creators. So you're never going to see me doing a skit probably because I just don't want to be that guy where you're like, oh, this was funny. It was funny. And then you get to the end of it and you're just like, okay, I kind of got the joke and then the skit just keeps going and then it just keeps going. Let me tell you what I like. I like a good man carrying thing that sounds crazy out of context. So let me go ahead and put that in context. I like a good skit from a channel like Man Carrying Thing, who typically keeps it pretty short. I haven't watched all of his stuff. But I feel like you got to keep it snappy. Notice how these things are like 43 seconds, 57 seconds, 1 minute and 3 seconds. And it's not actually like, I don't know how long the average SNL skit is. Also, I'm going to get in trouble. I'm going to get in trouble if I actually play this clip. Honestly, SNL is really, really bad. Someone said we all watch the same people. We're probably in the same recommendation bucket, because I enjoy content like the things that I create, essentially, even though honestly my stuff is a lot more drama heavy than anybody in commentary, but that's just over here on this channel. But listen. Lord, work with me. I'm asking you for strength here. This recent Tourette's skit that SNL did is an example of where I'm just like, I don't think a skit is always the best way of conveying something. I felt like I sounded a little kind of crazy or whatever trying to talk about SNL before because I didn't have an example of what I meant. But they didn't air this one, but it still got like 1.4 million views. They played it. Now, I'm not actually trying to tell you that this isn't funny. I don't have Tourette's, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to be offended on behalf of anybody. I'm just telling you right now. Here, let me try to play some of this. I am literally purposely catching a copyright claim over this. I know that I'm going to get one, and this live stream will be blocked worldwide after it's over, but that's okay.
The crowd was shocked as several.
Oh wait, we can't even hear it. Volume master. Maybe 300.
Offensive words were shouted from the crowd. But
okay, we could do a little bit better. Hold on. Volume. Maybe 350.
as host Alan Cumming pointed.
Okay, great. I know that some people are just going to tell me I'm dumb and I don't understand the joke, but let's go ahead.
This week at the BAFTA Awards, the crowd was shocked as
Also, me saying I'm not going to do reaction content and immediately launching into an SNL reaction that I have paused 5 times in the first 5 seconds. Well, he never claimed to be morally consistent, now did he? Let's actually start it over.
This week at the BAFTA Awards, the crowd was shocked as several offensive words were shouted from the crowd. But as host Alan Cumming pointed out, the hateful language was unintentional. It was involuntary verbal tics from a man suffering from Tourette's syndrome.
Hi, I'm Mel Gibson. And as I probably should have pointed out decades ago, I too suffer from Tourette's. Which explains a lot of the things I've said or yelled through the years. Am I proud of what I said?
I definitely, because for those of you who don't know, Mel Gibson is like a mess. Has a history of so many actions and statements that are wrong and bad, etc. I think racism, if I remember correctly, among other things. I don't even know his whole shtick. Hold on, I'm trying to find. Oh yeah, the controversy section, dude. Your controversy section on Wikipedia should not be that long, and they keep going.
No. But I am very proud for you to know it was because of Tourette's. Fortunately, I'm not alone.
Hi, I'm OG Real Housewife of New York, Jill Zarin. And you might have seen the video I posted this week where I said Bad Bunny did the worst halftime show in history. And why Why was it in Spanish? And where were all the white people? But what you didn't know is that I suffer from severe, long-winded, monologue-style Tourette's.
I'm gonna leave it there. I already know the copyright claim is coming. It's just not funny. It's literally, it's not funny. The point that they're actually trying to make is that celebrities will hide behind actually having, conditions or this, that, the other. But I'm like, brought to you by the National Workforce of Rethinking Disabilities Inward. I'm so brought to you by Inward. Brought to you by Inward is the best that y'all could come up with in that writing room. This is what I mean when I say I truly cannot rock with SNL. I can't do it. And you have a lot of discourse about like they weren't actually making fun of Tourette's. I don't think that was their intention. No, I would say I don't think they're making fun of black people per se by doing this. But I'm just like, dude, it's so unfunny. Y'all do not know how to make actual funny jokes about things that happen in today's world. I think y'all are so outdated. It's wild. Someone said the writing room is on fire this week. I wish the SNL writers had the type of Tourette's that makes them uncontrollably write scripts that are funny. Okay, I see where they went there. But yeah, no, I'm just like, wait, y'all hate this? Wait, hold on a second. Am I proud of the YouTube comment section? Oh yes, a man who has suffered a lifetime of torment from a neurological disorder he cannot control now has you implying that people with Tourette's are faking it. What fun. I swear to God, all of the comments were positive when I looked at this. I'm actually genuinely shocked that any sort of like criticism of this or people saying it's not funny. Someone said, I know you won't care about losing a subscriber with Tourette's, but here I am. Oh, that's so funny. So now it's okay to... Wow. Okay, I'm a little surprised because when I initially had checked this, it was literally just people saying like, oh, haha, so funny. And I've also seen people who have Tourette's say that they're not bothered by this at all. So I'm not, but I've also seen people who have Tourette's say that they were. Nobody is a monolith, and I'm not trying to speak for any specific community. I can only speak for myself. I just didn't think it was funny. Someone said that someone with Tourette's, this gives me hope in humanity. The response, yeah, no, like, consider me shocked that they're getting some kind of backlash for this. Just be funnier. Just be funnier. Just be funnier. And then this won't be a problem. Someone said woke is so back. No, like low key, this is kind of a woke comment section. And I'm living a little bit for this random woke response that I was not expecting. Yeah, but look, this person says, "Hoo boy, I have Tourette's, and this has been a pretty crappy week." So the swerve from seeing the title of this sketch to seeing who it actually was making fun of, well played, SNL. You had me worried for a second. So some people are fine with this, but like, I was like, someone said TikTok did not vibe with the video. I would imagine not. I was like, am I being dramatic, or is this literally like a new low? That's how I feel personally. I was like, I feel like it's possible that I'm just horrifically overreacting to this video, and it's not that serious at all to have a bunch of actors playing other actors pretending like you said bad things because you have Tourette's, when those people are lying in your video. They're lying about having Tourette's and using it as an excuse to say bad things, and your joke is that celebrities are immoral. I was like, this is actually genuinely a new low for you guys. This is possibly the least funny skit that you have done in a long time. Such a long time. I could not believe what I was seeing, but I don't know. I don't want to be annoying. I don't want to be annoying. Someone said this is so much less offensive than I expected. Maybe the thing is too, I am not offended. I am not offended specifically in this case. I can't speak to the Tourette's of it all, but me scrolling towards the end of this video and just seeing like, oh, inward, inward. I'm not offended. I'm tired. I'm tired. That's what I am. There's such a big difference between me criticizing things because I'm just like, cancel SNL. They need to take this video down. We need to report this video. Start a change.org petition. No, I'm sleepy. I see this and I'm like, okay, Betty, bye. Actually, because I don't want. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. Someone said it's low effort. It's embarrassing. Yeah, no, that's my opinion though. Definitely, you're totally free to yours. It's art after all, but I just feel like if you want to make like low effort, unfunny art, I certainly J.K. Rowling, man, no way. No way, no way, no way. I forgot who all they even had in this, because if you really thought I was going to commit this to memory.
Tourette's isn't just blurting out an offensive word. It can be years-long obsession with something like trans rights. And a deep anger that someone who was born with a wand in their pants would want that wand removed and replaced with a Horcrux. But now you know it was all the Tourette's fault, and not a bet I made with Bill Belichick to see who could destroy their legacy faster.
Oh, is this supposed to be Louis C.K., who I think was like sexually harassing people as well? Good night, chat. Actually, y'all remember that children's book, Good Night Moon? Good Night Moon. Yeah, Margaret Wise Brown. This is how I feel right now. You know what? Actually, let's just call the whole thing off. Let's go to sleep. I want somebody to read me a children's book. That's how I feel after being subjected to this Tourette's skit from SNL. I want somebody to actually tuck me in and read to me a children's picture book. Be like, okay, D'Angelo, which one do you want? I'm like, I want Good Night Moon by Margaret Wise Brown, actually a staple of children's literature. And my parent would be like, D'Angelo, shut up, you're 3. And read this one to me, knock me out, and let me just try the whole thing again tomorrow. Cause I tired. You understand? That's all I really got to say. That's all I really got to say. Somebody said there's a good full moon tonight. This is the perfect night to have somebody read Good Night Moon to you. And you know what? If you don't have anybody in your life to read this to you, I'll read a page for you. Good Night Moon page. We don't want to do like copyright. We don't want to do copyright claim stuff. Oh, wow. This book is so short. There's so few pages. There's so few words on the page. Wait, what weird website am I going to right now? I'm scared. I'm scared. Okay, hold on. I will read. Wait. I want to read Good Night Moon on stream right now. Somebody has a version of it here. This is so stupid. This is the stupidest thing I've ever done on stream. Ever. Okay, here we go. I'm just gonna mute them. Oh, okay. In the great green room, there was a telephone and a red balloon and a picture of... what was the picture of, actually? Because I do not remember. The cow jumping over the moon. And there were 3 little bears sitting on chairs. Okay. And a little toy house and a young mouse. Girl, I don't remember half of the things that were... Was there always a mouse? And a comb and a brush and a bowl full of mush. And a quiet old lady who was whispering, hush. I remember that part. Okay, what else? I said I wasn't going to read the whole book, but this book is actually like 5 words long. Good night, moon. Good night, cow jumping over the moon. Good night, light and the red balloon. Good night, bears. Good night, chairs. Good night, kittens. Relevant to today's topic. And good night, mittens. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. You've been read to. Good night, Betty Bye. Hope you enjoyed it. That is literally how every single... Someone said get on Audible Stat. That's literally how every like audiobook reader does it. Someone said you could read audiobooks. I can literally do the audiobook voice. I can do it. I have a pretty decent one. It's like a state of being, essentially. You just have to like remain in a space and keep it chill. My actual voice, I mean, we all know how my actual voice sounds, but like audiobook reading, that's a skill that I have actually. I've done similar things before in the past, which is so funny. Someone said I've never read it. Oh, did I just spoil? I just spoiled Goodnight Moon. I'm sorry. Not me spoiling the first 66% of Goodnight Moon live on my stream. That is so whack. I apologize. I'm sorry. Don't watch this part of the stream if you don't want to. Well, you're all here and I think you've already watched it, but if you just joined, don't go back. I spoiled Goodnight Moon without so much as a thought. Also, this is the last thing I'll say. Somebody, back when I still cared about Star Wars, I was still in college. They literally spoiled what is going on with what's his name? I forget what is that man's name? Adam Driver. His character. Sorry, it's been actually so long since I watched anything Star Wars. I'm not trying to be funny at all. His character is chat. What is Adam Driver's character's name? People are going to say that I'm doing a bit here. I literally don't remember. Darth Maul? No, I don't think it was Darth Maul. Oh, Kylo. Thank you. Okay. Kylo Ren. Yes, thank you. When the first new Star Wars movie came out, or whichever movie unveils key information about Kylo Ren, how is that so hard for me to remember? You know why, actually? Because besides Kylo Ren, there's also the character Rey. The character Rey from Star Wars. And there is this thing that people do called Reylo. If you don't know what Reylo means, you might be surprised at how big of a thing that this is. But I actually, because Reylo exists between these two characters, I genuinely forget that they're actually from Star Wars. There's literally so much Reylo fic or like Reylo inspired non-fan fiction at this point that I have disconnected the theme of Reylo from Star Wars, and I completely forgot that Kylo Ren is an actual Star Wars character. Anyways, all this to say, somebody saw fit to spoil key information about Kylo Ren's character that I'm not going to get into, even though these movies are really old, and if I spoiled them, you only have yourself to blame. But I won't do it. You probably shouldn't read the chat. And I got so mad. That somebody went on there and spoiled it on their actual Facebook. This is back when I used Facebook. Someone I knew in real life, me realizing if this person's watching this, they're going to feel called out. Good, because I've been mad about this for 10 years. They actually truly went on their account and said to all of their friends, oh, I watched the new Star Wars. It was amazing. I can't believe insert key fact about Kylo Ren's character that actually is pretty a big deal. And when you watch it in the movie, you're like, what? And I saw that standing in line to watch the new Star Wars movie. me thinking to myself, I like, even back then, I wasn't an idiot. I was, but I knew like, oh, if I go online playing around in like fandom spaces and stuff, they're going to spoil this new movie. So I need to watch it first. And I was actually genuinely just checking my personal Facebook, stalking my friends, not really stalking's not funny, but keeping up with what my friends were doing. And one of them actually genuinely saw fit to post the crux of the movie on their Facebook, and I saw it 2 minutes before my butt hit the seat to watch it. So I was sitting there the entire time just like, ugh, I already know where this is going. I already know this information about Kylo Ren. And then it happens and you're just like, I literally felt nothing. I'm so sad. Wait, why am I actually sad? It's funny, when I do therapy, I'm usually like, oh, let's talk about my weird childhood or my weird job or my weird gender or these things that are weird. I don't think I've never told a therapist that somebody spoiled Star Wars for me like almost 10 years ago. And I was sitting in a theater full of people who were having fun and sharing a common experience and living. And when it happened, I felt nothing. And that's how I always feel. That was if I had this as a metaphor in therapy, I probably would have, it's not a speed run. I would have made twice as much progress. I could have told my therapist, okay, listen, you use a lot of good analogies, but let me use an analogy for you. Imagine being in a theater where everybody's waiting to find out the twist of the new Star Wars movie and you already know it. So the whole time, everyone around you having fun and you're just thinking to yourself like, oh, this must be one of those things that I don't get to enjoy. And then it happens and it's meaningless. And then it's over and it's meaningless and everyone around you is cheering. That's essentially how I feel all the time, or I did at that time. I actually feel a lot better nowadays. Sometimes though, if things get too quiet, too quiet, I do find myself sitting in a packed theater just wishing I was home because nothing will ever be for me. But that's why I just don't let it get quiet no more. Through a mix of coping mechanisms and various cocktails of this, that, the other, I'm like, I don't want to deal. Well, I am currently dealing with that part of myself. That's just always like, why? Why did you spoil Star Wars for me? It's hilarious. It's hilarious. Someone said the despair is always just a step behind. Yeah, no, I'm not finna let it catch up. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to end the stream. But yeah, I can't believe somebody told me that he was